All right, let's see if we're back now. All right, let's see if we're back now.
The water's rising slow and hot. The frog's still dreaming in the pot. Steam whispers secrets to the air. Do you jump or do you dare? Tick tock, the heat won't stop. The lid shakes like it's gonna pop. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot, 'cause the pot boils over, like it or not. Cyril's cards fell just as planned. He dealt the aces, played his hand, but the crowd's awake, their voices loud. A restless wave, a roaring crowd. Tick tock, the time runs thin. Boiling point, it's sink or swim. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leave. Take your shot, 'cause the pot boils over, like it or not. Over again, pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot, 'cause the pot boils over, like it or not.
Oh yeah, come on, Cyril. Pot boils over. 31 years later. Just as you promised, as you foretold, working for the labor unions at Codesa, the pot boils over. But I have a question. Not about the pot boiling over, but I'm just curious. Can't we just kiss and make up?
Oh, Cyril, I think we messed up, like, big time.
Seriously.
It's kiss and make up. Yeah! It's been a year of running mouths, way down in the south, throwing shade across the ocean, loud and full of doubt. First we said you're ill-informed, didn't think you care. Then the ambassador got nasty, floating insults in the air. We poked the bear, we pulled the tail, now we're reading the rejection mail. Ronald Malola started the fire, Guidi Montache raised it higher. Vincent and Crispin joined the charade with the P-Lady, then the insult parade. Hey, we mocked the diplomat, we had a laugh, but now we're looking at the economic graph. Oh, Donald, wait, don't close the gate, can't we just kiss and make up? We see the G20 list and our name is missed. It's a nightmare from which we need to wake up. Miami is sunny and we need the money to keep the jobs flowing and the trade deal sweet. Put aside the pride, let us back inside. Don't leave us stranded on the lonely street. Can't
Miami
we
is
just
sunny
kiss
and we need
make
the money.
up?
We need the money for the grift, the BEE.
Cyril was joking, thought he was the boss, but he didn't calculate the total cost. Mocking the envoys, acting so cool, now we look like the kids kicked out of school. You've had enough, you drew the line, no Miami ticket, no invite to dine. We're sitting here holding an empty plate, realizing way too late. McGuenio was typing, hitting send, thinking the patience would never end. But you saw the clips and you heard the slight, now we're shivering in the diplomatic night. Hey! The poverty's high, the struggle is real, we're desperate to sign the trade appeal. Oh, Donald, wait, don't close the gate, can't we just kiss and make up? We see the G20 list and our name is missed. It's a nightmare from which we need to wake up. Miami is sunny and lonely street. We know we said some things that sting. We treated diplomacy like a boxing ring, but the randage is shaking. The people need work. We promise not to act like such a jerk. Swallow the ego, drop the disdain, or gonna be left out in the rain. Oh, Donald, wait, don't close the gate. Can't we just kiss and make up? We see the G20 list and our name is missed. It's a nightmare from which we need to wake up. Miami is sunny and we need the money to keep the jobs flowing and the trade deal sweet. Put aside the pride, let us back inside. Don't leave us stranded on the lonely street. Come on, angels, and pick up the phone. Don't make us go it alone. Miami looks nice this time of year. Just one little kiss. Make up, please.
Miami is sunny and we need the money. We need the money. You need the money. Oh my goodness. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the program. Yeah, we had 600 people and we're down to 150, just like that. Look at that. All these people didn't go looking for my stream. We when we left, we had, I don't know, 490 some people still watching the program. I think the problem is a faulty drive. I think this is the problem. This was damaged during when my software was acting up. I think this thing is damaged, and whenever it tries to index the drive, it might run into a bad file, and then it just cocks up my whole computer. This was the problem. Everything froze up. This drive was connecting, disconnecting. I knew that sound. It's USB sound. I had placed this inside the computer and it had been working in a different USB connection. So I don't think it's USB connection. I think it's this drive or the cable. So I'm going to try to hook this up to a laptop and back up this data again on another drive and hope that that's a problem. It's a shame because this is an important drive and I've had used it for so long. But I've already taken key files off of it. So, but still, it's a real inconvenience. It might explain what the problem has been. So, no power surge. No power surge. Again, as I just said, I think it was that drive which is causing chaos on my computer. But it's not the only problem. I've had problems with Windows updates. I've had problems with the internet. The internet is fine. I thought the internet died. But what it did is when it disconnected the drive, it messed up all kinds of things. And my operating system got confused. And so it disconnected my streaming software. So that hasn't happened before, but it does happen. So you like that music? You're going to like this one. You're going to like this one even more. You ready for this? You're going to like that? Hang on a second. Here we go. We're going to give you another one here that you're going to like. Where the heck's it at? There it is. That's not it. That's not it. That's not what I want. Come on. Where are you at? Now I got to find where my browser's at. I was just in. It was, which one was this? This one? Here, this is the one. Okay, you're going to like that one. If you thought that was bad, you think that was good. Here's another one.
No star-spangled banners flying high, Santa's waiting, but the eagle won't try. Pretoria's got a thorn in its side, diplomatic poker played worldwide. Ace on the table, hearts on the floor. Who's keeping score? Who's keeping score? No USA in RSA. Big Summit's gone astray.
now we're back to normal size. Night Owl's audience is all the people left and just didn't come back. That's crazy. Well, that sucks. My computer acting up like a little turd, so sorry about that, guys. They are going to sweep this under the carpet as saying they checked for illegals. They questioned and briefly detained 2 Canadian nationals working with the U.S. State Department. The problem with that is that they violated the Vienna Conventions. The U.S. will take action on this. Just went through some Telegram, WhatsApp chats. Another note, imagine a bribe with the colonel, music background. What's the problem with this government? They want the minorities out. Why don't they leave us alone? Good question. Yep, November updates for Windows messed up a lot of stuff. Yep, and I've had all kinds of problems since then. Inglorious bastards, Philip. Sorry you didn't have a nice sunny day, but Durban was a killer yesterday. Ooh, that sucks. Quince, thank you for the 14 Rand super chat. Okay, good morning, Etienne. How's it going there? Okay, Gustav. Pennsylvania, it's called meth. What are you talking about? Good grief, did you swallow a couple of energizers in the past minutes? What artwork? Which artwork are you talking about? That seemed a very strategic cut to your feed, just about to list their corrupted. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll do the. I'll find that now. No, it's my computer. It's Windows indexes to update so you can get the files quickly. That's just how it does it. It's not a very effective way, and it ruined my drive by taking it out. I think it was damaged when one of the power or something like that went out previously. So I need to go back here, and yeah, my computer's moving much faster now. It was being slowed down by that. So. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. So anyway, there we go. Section 16, 17, 18. That's what I was talking about. So I was on section 16 explaining the violation of South Africans' constitutionally guaranteed rights. That's what it was. So here we go. Okay, so let's get to that now. Okay, let me get back to my broadcast. Let me see. Hang on a second here. Okay, there we go. So I'm back to that now. All right. Now let's put this up on the screen. Okay, so now we'll do this. Okay, you guys ready? We'll try this again. Okay, there we go. Screen. All right, so Section 16 of the South African Constitution guarantees freedom of expression, which includes freedom of the press, the right to receive or impart information, and freedom of artistic and academic expression. Yep, that's what it does, promise. The South African Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of association in Section 18, stating that everyone has a right to associate with whomever they choose. Yes, as long as they're not criminals, you can associate with whoever you want. Both of these sections, 16 and 18, were violated today, or yesterday, for South Africans. And South African Constitution also guarantees the right to freedom of movement to everyone within its borders and the right to leave the Republic. These rights are enshrined in Section 21 of the Bill of Rights. So 3 sections of your Constitution violated. No respect for South Africa's Constitution. It took place today. No basis whatsoever for what happened there. Obviously, Americans running a diplomatic operation in South Africa. And I have these little pogues who think they know what they're talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Embassies only work on embassy grounds. No, they don't. Our persons, our apartments, our properties are inviolable. They are protected. If you go to my home as a South African police official and I'm stationed in South Africa with diplomatic passport and diplomatic visas and credentials, you do not have the right to search my home. That has to be coordinated with the U.S. Embassy and get their approval. Expat Family Joubert, 140 Rand. Thank you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yep. Okay. So no, it wasn't anyone breaking. It's just bad mojo with the laptop, with my computer here. So racially governed, selectively liberal, increasingly coercive, and pretending otherwise helps no one. Steve, 100%. Use my spares, lots of time, end of 13th, but at least it's serious jams. I'm not sure what you're talking about. No matter what, I'm going for my interview. Where I've done my turn, I get intimidated, there will be consequences. My old Fujitsu Siemens drive is still going strong. When my laptop broke, I had a few derivative drives. They tend to fail. This is a Seagate, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a Western Digital. Is this a Seagate or Western Digital? Have to look and see. I've got so many drives around here, I can't keep track. It's a Seagate. Yeah, I've not had the best of luck with Seagates, but this one had been very successful for a very long time. There's like 2-3 gigabytes of data on here. So, but the data is okay. It's just there's something in one of the sectors that it accesses. It might be this cable too. I never know. Anyway, but I've got to try to put it on my laptop and copy it off to another device. So I bought one of these strips that gives me all kinds of connections, so I can hook up a bunch of devices at once. We always knew the program would be infiltrated by the government. Any updates on those Ferrayos who were assisting? Well, I do have an update on that, Dirk Kutsia. Thank you for the €10 super chat. Appreciate that. The Ferrayos are actually somebody I know. And the lady and the young man are not Ferrayos, not to my knowledge. I actually know who they were. But my point is valid. So I talked to her earlier this evening about that. about what happened there. And she said, no, that was me in the fingerprint room. Me and my son, we were in the fingerprint room. I said, well, were you being friendly with them? She said, no, I was just talking to them. They asked questions. I answered the questions. But my point stands valid. There are people who will try to infiltrate the program and try to disrupt it and cause chaos. We see it each and every day. But the people there were not Ferrayas. They, at least I don't believe they were. I know them. So yeah, I think it's okay. That's okay. So thank you. All About Forex for becoming a member. People are finding you're a rock star, boyo. Well, thank you, Mr. Kando. Appreciate that. The artwork. Oh, okay. Artwork. That's not artwork to me. Is drawings and paintings. Okay. Your question, Ren, was I do these songs. These are my songs. They're AI. I have my own channel I have my own record label. It's called DJ Silver Eagle. You can find me on Spotify. You can also find me on YouTube. On YouTube, not a lot of people subscribe to that. Let me go there quickly, though. DJ Silver Eagle. Topic. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got 305 subscribers now. So if you go to DJ Silver Eagle Topic on YouTube, so this is the channel you want, DJ Silver Eagle Topic, and you'll find this. There's 305 subscribers. All the videos are there. ANC has foot and mouth trouble. The Wyatt Army marches on. Lying Dutchman, working without compensation, desperate in the Donbass, trash in the USA. So ANC has foot and mouth disease. Here you go.
Whoa.
Well, down south they're stirring up a shiny new mess, spilling verbal diarrhea, putting diplomacy to the test.
Verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, they're poking at DC, trying to make the Eagle mad, acting like the playground bully is the best friend they ever had.
China.
Then Ron Mueller steps up, adjusting his tie, says, we don't need the USA, we'll let the Donald fly on by. He says we'll go our own way, we don't need a stamp of grace. While he's slamming every door right in his own face. Oh, the ANC is foot and mouth troubles, talking loud and proud while the misery doubles, thinking they're a heavyweight, throwing punches in the dark, but they're biting off a whole lot more than they can bar. Yeah, the times are getting tough and the road is getting rough, cause the ANC has foot and mouth troubles.
ANC has
He
foot and mouth
thinks the
trouble.
world is with him, living in a hazy dream, but nobody's carrying water for a failing scheme. Marco Rubio stood up and he turned on the light, expose the race-baiting efforts and the fuss and the fight.
You can't sway the big players with a cheap magic trick.
When the global scene is moving, yeah, it moves pretty quick.
You delude yourself thinking that you hold all the cards.
Now you're standing all alone in your own backyard. Oh, the ANC has foot and mouth troubles, talking loud and proud while the misery doubles, thinking they're a heavyweight, throwing punches in the dark, but they're biting off a whole lot more than they can bark. Yeah, the times are getting tough and the road is getting rough, cause the ANC has foot and mouth troubles.
It's embarrassing for Cyril.
Yeah, stings a little bit.
He went down to the G20,
Looking for a place to sit.
but the nameplate was changed.
Yeah, the story is cold.
He's been replaced by Poland,
So we are told. Now the sun is going down on the yellow, green, and black.
and there ain't no
Yellow,
use
green,
in
and
trying
black.
to take the insults back.
No mice, no joy at Luthula House tonight.
No sway on the stage and not a friend inside.
Just foot and mouth troubles.
Bless their hearts.
Oh, the ANC is foot and mouth troubles, talking loud and proud while the misery doubles, thinking they're a heavyweight, throwing punches in the dark, but they're biting off a whole lot more than they can bark. Yeah, the times are getting tough and the road is getting rough, cause the ANC has foot and mouth troubles.
Little Calfoot Soaky now, folks. No, I didn't see another Russian plane later. So that is DJ Silver Eagle, 305 subscribers. Nobody else subscribed. I just told you about it. Here's the link. Here's the link. All the songs are on there. And by the way, so far it looks like I get more money from YouTube playing my music than I get from Spotify or anybody else. Not that I'm making much money on it. I've just now made enough to pay the cost of my music distributor after 4 months. Yeah, so hang on a second. Where the heck am I at? I'm over here. Okay, there we go. Confused because everything kept reloading. So there you go. Paste. Okay, so that is the channel. You can become a subscriber to it, and you can't become a member because it's not. It's YouTube sets those things up for artists. So there you go. So just go over there and play my music, and I'll get credit for it. Yeah, cool. It's not so long ago that an X constituted one signature on a legal document. Okay. Landing daily or nightly. Okay. Okay, there you go. You subscribed. The mic is not soft. No, the mic is soft when I'm singing because I turned it off. I can't sing. You don't need to hear me sing. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. And the Sith doesn't like my song. I like the song. DJ War said a few months ago that if the Afrikaners lease out of this country is screwed, the raid is done out of fear as who is going to pay the ass. Yeah, he's going to pay sauce grants, exactly. Any news on the flight which was grounded? Yes, Boss Lewis. There's no flight grounded. That's the wrong terminology. The flight went. It's a commercial flight, but the South African refugees were not on it. I can tell you with 100% confidence that they're safe, they're sound, they are under U.S. security right now, and they're staying in a safe location, unless somebody blabs and says where they're at, which I'm not going to do. And I actually have a friend who was supposed to be on that flight. So someone told me that someone flew last night, but I don't know anything about that. That's not information that I have. They claim they flew, but I'm not aware of that. I can tell you for a fact that maybe some people flew, but the people didn't fly as far as I know. And Stan Fundane says, thank you for taking a keen interest in us bitter enders. No, I've taken a keen interest in all South Africans and Africans in general and just people. We made a cross for a signature. Okay. Good evening. HC2, you can check your hard drives. Okay. Transfer your data. Yeah, that's the plan. I try to transfer my data. How did Retief have a signed agreement with Dingane when we know Dingane couldn't write? I'd love to have seen that agreement. X. He marked it. Government has already shown they have no respect for the Constitution. Look at the number of race laws in the books. Exactly. And all out of 4X. Welcome as a team member. Appreciate you being here. So we're back up to 275 after all those people lost me there. Yep. All right. We always knew the program would be infiltrated by government. Okay, that was Dirk. Thank you for the €10. Yeah, the Friars, they weren't assisting. That was somebody's impression. That's what I said. So I said, but it does raise a bigger question. Who is betraying people? Also thought the sound was a bit lower than normal this morning. Okay. All right. Well, sound is up all the way. My sound is up. Let me double check my microphone down here. Make sure the volume is up all the way. Where's it at? Okay. I can't even see my microphone. Where the hell's my microphone at? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay. No, I'm hitting the peaks. It's up all the way. Volume's up all the way. Let me listen to myself over here. It's up all the way. Volume's up all the way. No, I can hear it. Yeah, no, the volume's up all the way, guys. Will the genie be accountable for this raid? I don't know. That's why I press record on vid. Start explaining the context of the document. Ask to understand. Yep. Dissent is framed as racial hostility. Accountability is recast as resistance to transformation. This ensures that failure is never owned, only explained away. Exactly. Yeah, sounds good, says Garrett. Hey, Garrett. All right. Oh, the music is very loud because I have it coming through the microphone, through the mixer, which is what you're getting. Plus, you're probably picking up the sound because I'm playing it, so I can hear it. If I put my headset on, then it wouldn't be as loud because you would not hear it. But I want to hear the music too. How come you only get to hear the music? I want to hear the music. What will be the most likely consequences for the raid? I'm not sure. You were unsubscribed during the stream, Holden? That's crazy. Trump is speaking, but it's not about South Africa. He might talk about South Africa, but it's not about South Africa. He's going to be talking about some other things. Oh, 328 subscribers on the channel now. Cool, thanks. I listen once in a while where all the love and energy of our comes from. Always thank you. Where does it come from? Claude Schultz, it comes from a love for humanity. I mean, I've spent my entire life trying to help people. I mean, I had a very unpleasant childhood in many respects, very eventful and somewhat on the fringes of history, but not the history you want to be on the fringes of. But I had a very unpleasant childhood and was happy to become an adult and set my own path in life. And I've always, my guide stone has always been to treat people fairly and respectfully, because I wasn't always treated fairly and with respect. That wasn't always the case. And so I know what it's like to be on the outside. I know what it's like to be abused and mistreated for being different, also for being white. I know what it's like to suffer from that. Yeah, so there's no video, Mr. Kando, that we're aware of. There may have been closed-circuit television cameras at the venue. I don't know. I can't confirm that. But you have to understand that the people who were present, who were FGs, don't have phones. And see, that was one of the other stupid comments. You may have missed that on the earlier broadcast that was cut off a few minutes ago. The people are like, well, where's the video? Show us the video. There is no video. They didn't have their phones. Their phones were taken from them. You can't take them in the facility. So they couldn't film anything in there. So the only people who could have filmed would have been the venue. Yep. Yep. So there will not be, electronics can't be taken in. So you're not going to have any recording of that. Talking about those two bills. Phone died last night after hearing Senator Kennedy say his enemy. Those, yeah, well, dangerous words. Well, it's true from his perspective. That's what he says. Where does all the energy come from, Claude? Thank you for listening once in a while, and thank you for being a subscriber. So I think maybe your question is, where does my interest in South Africa come from? Quid says there are cameras at the venues. They have footage for sure. Well, I haven't been to all the venues, so I can't attest to that. I'll take your word for that. But the problem is was the footage available for them to take when they left, or was it like my drive? You can just pull it out and take off with it. So that's a question. What else? Okay. More the trolls comment, the more it pushes the content. Yeah, I don't have a problem with trolls commenting as long as they're not racist. Then we'll take them out. If they say stupid stuff, they say stupid stuff. There's lots of stupid people out there. All the idiots that attacked me, claiming I didn't know what I was talking about, and I made all this stuff up. Okay. I've just received this. Hello, this is Nora, a customer service representative from YouTube. Your resume has been displayed on several online job search platforms. High-paying position, YouTube optimization specialist, remote work, date required, daily wage $200 to $600, no experience required, free training provided. Long-term position, part-time, and full-time options. Help increase exposure and views of YouTube user videos. Company benefits, 4-day paid probation period. You can sign a formal employment contract, statutory paid holidays, medical insurance. Currently have 10 open positions if you're 25 years or older. Well, clearly, my resume hasn't come up a bunch of times because you would know that I'm a little bit older than 25, and I'm not going to work for $200 a day. I'm going to work for $200 a day. I make $1,000 an hour in some of my consulting gigs. You may have had an unhappy childhood, but you grew up to make something yourself, unlike the haters that wants to take revenge society for not getting toys when they grow up. 100%, Philip. Equally upset about what Gayton said yesterday about Dingani Day and the vow. Yeah, Gayton McKenzie is, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed in him. If there's footage, the U.S. are unlikely to make it public for security reasons. If they do show it, I bet it would be, it'd be bare minimum. Oh, it does sound like a scam, amazing destinations. That's why I'm laughing about it. That text just came in on my phone. CCTV, who do you think will be mostly visible on there? The staff and the refugees. Do you think it's wise to show them correctly? Exactly, Willie. That's why. So people don't engage their brain. They're just leftist hate wankers who want to cause chaos. And again, I was the only journalist on the planet, to my knowledge. I know that Professor G made a video based on what I said, and Willem Petzer also made a video based on what I said, and thank them for that. But I was the only journalist that was reporting this story. They were reporting what I reported. And they also came later. But I was reporting this early on, thanks to my viewers and thanks to my connections that I've been able to establish because of my trustworthiness. I was able to confirm that this was in fact true, and I told the story. And as a consequence, I was pillared, I was attacked, I was viciously, racially assaulted by scumbags on Twitter and other places who made ridiculous, asinine comments. I don't know anything about diplomacy. I don't know anything about diplomacy. Really. Embassies only work on embassy compounds. Really? 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 I mean, I've worked in how many embassies? I've lived in 8 countries where I worked as an employee of the U.S. Embassy, a diplomat. In every one of those countries, I carried a diplomatic passport. Yeah. Every one of those countries I lived and worked in Africa. I've worked in over 40 embassies around Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, probably about 50 or 60. To tell me I don't know how an embassy works, it shows you how stupid these people are. They are dumb as a box of rocks, and they actually believe people listen to their garbage. It's an echo chamber. Only these hate wankers listen to their garbage. Exactly, Carlos. The authorities were making videos and taking photos. They should ask them. Well, they're not going to because they're trying to claim it didn't happen. So because the media wasn't reporting on it, it wasn't real. Really? Just because Cockprot24 and the Toilet Paper of Record and the Daily Shitbird don't report on something means it's not real? Means it didn't happen? What about all the black South Africans that are killed every day in South Africa they don't report on? That happens every day. 27,000 murders. I don't recall 27,000 stories about murder in South Africa last year. No, they only take occasionally the gratuitous farm murders that they report on. Then they try to say that they're crying about a white genocide. Well, you're the one reporting on it, and you're not reporting on everything. So, mean tweets, yes. Chris G said the government gave us proof. Yeah, well, that's right, and that's what I said from the outset. Wrote the story. You're the first colonel. Everyone else followed. Exactly, Phil. Not only did I break the story, and I'm not claiming because I mean it's just good fortune for me because I was paying attention and people trust me. But the point of the story is that because no media outlet covered the story for 6 or 7 hours until after I reported on it, then that came out. By then, these trolls were in bed already. So or they're busy, stroking each other off in a circle jerk somewhere. Anyway. Thanks to all you Americans working hard to keep us safe. All right, one-eyed Stig. Okay. I'm a propagandist who uses AI videos. I mean, isn't it hilarious? What AI videos have I ever used? The only AI I've used is in songs. I find it absolutely unbelievable this has not reached mainstream media yet. Nothing. Nada. I would be interested in hearing what your predictions are. They're going to ignore it until they can't ignore it. No, it doesn't suit the narrative, and that's why the leftists came after me. They sent their little flying monkey crowd after me to attack me. Yep. Buster says, to me, it suggests they love white people and want them to stay. Well, then why did they say to them, ha, 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 all you little whiteys running off to America? Why did they say that? Started worrying when I saw the title, as I only have a second interview on Orientation Lab, but you set me at ease. Thank you. Okay, Spiff. You call them out on their propaganda, and now they accuse you of it. Exactly. They're looking in the mirror. Don't know if you saw, we were supposed to be on yesterday's flight, but we're all safe now. One-eyed Steak, I didn't see that. Yes. Yeah, see, there's confirmation from somebody that says they're supposed to be on the flight that they weren't on the flight. One of my friends is also in that group and is currently safe, okay? I can say monkey as long as I want. Monkey, 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 monkey. Monkey pox, monkey, monkey. Monkey shines. Monkey stillskin. I can say monkey all I want. Mainstream will report on it once the ANC tells them what to lie with. Exactly. They have to get their briefing from the government and communications folks about what they're supposed to say first. So, yeah. That's sarcasm. Monkey, 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 monkey. If you infer something from the word monkey, there's something wrong with you. Debbie. Hey, Debbie, how's it going? Debbie, I was talking about you earlier. I said, you're the one that put the QR code on the back of those business cards. You put those business cards together for me when I came and saw that the first time. That was so cool. Yep. Like I said earlier, there's idiots on X asking Grok for evidence of proof of the raid. I mean, seriously. These people. Can I say ape? Yeah. It was Jane Goodall was a friend of the apes. She hung out with apes all the time. The great apes. Yep. Yeah, Jane Goodall. She passed away recently. Interesting lady. It just happened. What just happened? I'm not talking about monkeys and any people. If you're inferring that, that's on you. I never said that. I was talking about monkeypox. There's a troll content creating you, copying you, even calling something a Bob. Really? I don't know who that is, Krista. That'd be interesting to know. I can say lots of things that you can't say. Boobies. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. No, he didn't just say that, did he? Yes. Did you know that? Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Bunny, relax. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Namaste. Namaste. Stay with me here, okay? Okay? Bunny, it's going to be all right, okay? This is an intimidation campaign. It's going to be okay. Don't allow yourself to be intimidated. It's going to be okay. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. I have a very important announcement for everyone in the crowd right now, a very important announcement for you. Very important announcement. I believe in science entirely. I trust the science. I trust the science. And the Kindergarten Cop movie told me that boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Volmeran's glad to see you back there. Only 2 genders. Really? I didn't say there were 2 genders. You said that. There's 187 genders. Science is racist. Snow is racist. Unless you pee in it, then it's Asian. Don't say that. Boobies. Fun bags. Ooh. Did he just say fun bags? He did say fun bags. The world is flat, Quids. Who told you the world was round? Where do you get that? That's propaganda. Where are you getting that from? You getting that from the alt-right? The world is round? What kind of nonsense is that? We all know the world is flat, and the ANC is sailing off the edge of it right now. Snowflakes around the world are melting. That's true. Snowflakes were melting in my yard today. That's a fact. So someone just said, Debbie said you can support me through PayPal if you want. That's very kind. Let's put that up. I always forget to do that. It's not something I spend a lot of time on. But occasionally people remind me of that. So where's the PayPal? There you go. PayPal. All right, there you go. Find it so funny that some think they're, okay. Oh my gosh. Science can't talk. It's a method. No! The science is settled. You right-wingers, the science is settled. There are only 8 planets in the universe. I mean, this galaxy. I mean, this solar system. Yes, the science is settled. It's true. It's true. The science is settled. You're killing me today, Colonel. Nearly drowned in my juice laughing. The world is shaped like a hot dog. Yeah, we're all getting screwed. The world is shaped like a hot dog. We're all getting screwed. Hey, don't be picking on Pluto. Pluto's my friend. I love Pluto. And I do not like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Bastards downgraded Pluto. What the hell was that? I love Pluto. Pluto is the 9th planet. Planet X is the 10th planet. But Planet X is so far away from Earth. It's like the ANC and Reason. Here's ANC, here's Reason. And they just keep going further away. They're sliding. The gravitational pull of Reason cannot hold the ANC. The ANC cannot be held by the gravitational pull. The gravitational pull of Reason is simply too weak to hold the ANC. They are picking up speed and exiting the solar system. Whew. Pluto is a planet. You are correct. Yeah. How can it be a Kuiper Belt object? Ladies and gentlemen, today the International Astronomical Association in Switzerland declared that Pluto is no longer a planet. It is now a Kuiper Belt object. Really? A Kuiper Belt object? What's this? Rapid response. Thank you, Mad Max, for the clouds forming. Daily press guide. Oh, that's the president, okay. His schedule. 9 o'clock tonight. Good, I'll be able to cover that because I'm on the radio until 9. Okay, they got to transfer. Oh, this must be for the soldiers killed in Syria. A dignified transfer. So he'll be at Dover Air Force Base. Yep. In-town pool call time. Out-of-town pool call time. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, the president will be doing that. Yep. Oh, no, the leftist is Atlas. They're spying us because the dome near Antarctica might be compromised. Yeah, I'll have to think about a song for the raid. Roboman. ANC has intelligence level of frigid heart. Pluto identifies as a planet. Exactly. You cannot denigrate Pluto's existence. Pluto identifies as a planet, not a Kuiper Belt object, not a demi-planet. Demi-planet? Was it like Demi Moore? Yeah. If you want to see virtue signaling in action, dig a hole and watch the likes of Neil deGrasse Tyson try to explain why COVID jabs work is necessary. It's hilarious. Oh, yeah. No, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a shameful individual. I thought he was a fascinating physicist early on, but then he showed his true colors. It's all about race with that guy. That guy is so ungrateful. You know, Carl Sagan took him under his wing. Carl Sagan encouraged him. He mentored this young man to become astrophysicist, and he repays us with his race garbage. Yeah, it's yeah. Token science. Raiders of the Lost Ark. What's this? Yep. Fizzy cool drink. Tickle my nose. Okay, 321 people here now. All right, folks. So let's run through this again. Earlier today, now, well, still today, 5 minutes ago, well, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. It's 2 minutes by now. 3 minutes from me before it's tomorrow. It'll soon be the 17th of December, but earlier on the 16th of December, Reconciliation Day, Geloftedag in South Africa. The South African authorities, we believe, be Home Affairs wearing khaki uniforms, and someone said, no, they don't wear khaki. Yes, they do. Home Affairs wears khaki uniforms. Khaki is not camouflage. Khaki is the color. Khaki is that brown crap, like your baby, your nappies. So you change the nappies for a toddler, they have brown khaki in their, when they go boom boom in their nappies, they have brown khaki color. That's what khaki is. And those uniforms are worn by Border Management Authority. These people arrived at a U.S. refugee processing site in Johannesburg. They raided the site. They demanded documents from people. They took photographs, video, filmed people, and they looked for the Americans who evacuated the facility and took all the information with them, their laptops, their information. Now, I don't know if people were detained. I had indications that was a false report, but CNN has reported earlier this afternoon that 2 American employees were detained. I don't know that to be true, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm waiting for news from officials in the morning to confirm whether that's true or not. Yeah, and Thomas Piggott said they want, it's Tommy Piggott, that's the deputy spokesperson for the State Department, said they want and expect answers from the South African government quickly. So, yeah. So that happened earlier today. I reported on it. To my knowledge, I was the first person in the world to break this publicly in the media. And then I was attacked and called all kinds of names by hate-wanking leftists, and I was told it wasn't true. Where's the video? Where's the video? So if you don't have a video, you don't believe something to be true, that's just stupid people. Am I disconnected again? What the hell's going on? Okay, there we go. Man, this tab crashed over here. Guess what? I'm on planet Earth moving towards America. Okay, Anna. ANC may have big heads, but how many brain cells? I don't know. Yep. And Reinhardt Fourie just subscribed. Thank you for that. Let me take a look real quick at how many subscribers we got today, because we did pick up a lot of subscribers. Now, the subscriber count will go until about 3 a.m. because it's based on California time, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll keep getting those things until then. So let me look at the analysis on the channel very quickly here. I need to move this over here because it's in the wrong spot. There we go. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay. There we go. Okay, so, oh, hang on, that's not right. There we go. All right, so let's take a look. We took a big dip here. We dropped down to about 3,000 or 4,000 per hour, picking back up again. Wow, 10 o'clock, 10,000. Now we've got 15,000, 11 o'clock. That's pretty cool. Let me just look at, what was I looking for? Distracted there. Distracted there. Oh, my goodness. Oh, subscribers. That's what it was, subscriber count. So we started yesterday at 117,471. So we're not going to get 1,000, but we're having a pretty good day. What was that? A number just subscribed, is that as opposed to a specific number. Reinhardt Fourie subscribed. 118,071. So that would be 71 plus 73. 640, about 640 subscribers today. I wish we could have 1,000, but we're not going to get there. I got a few more hours, though. Maybe we'll pick them up overnight. Never know. We'll see. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep pushing for more subscribers. But yeah, I think I've figured out what one of the problems with my computer was, and unfortunately, we figured out tonight. When my computer started giving me that USB, drive connect, disconnect, device connect, that's the sound that Windows makes when it connects the device or disconnects it. And I think it's all because it gets confused by that drive. So I think that's the problem. Yeah, you are a pillar of these trying times. We appreciate you more than you know. Thanks for everything. You're welcome, Utopi. But I take a lot of flack for it. Colonel's the only person tapped into the refugee community in the U.S. government. Don't trust anyone else for confirmation. Well, thank you for that. Good morning, sir. What a low blow to refugees and Historical Heritage Day. Yes, Francois Fenter, you are 100% correct. What a low blow. Yep. Yeah, I don't know where you find the emoji for buffering. Yeah, if U.S. employees were detained, especially if they're diplomats, especially if they were diplomats, and the odds are they're diplomats. If they're U.S. employees, unless they're contractors, they're going to be diplomats. Exactly. Karen, if I actually had a video to give them, they just claim it's AI. They're just messed up. These people are sad. I don't know why they hate the truth so much. I'm your emotional support agent. That's interesting. Okay. Won't be surprised. Oh, I'm sure she has something to do with it. Yes. She already falsely reported. So, what's that guy's name? Steven ZA, I think it is. He's got a YouTube channel, about 50,000 subscribers. He did a report based off mine, and he misspoke or he misunderstood. I'm not criticizing his channel. I'm not attacking. I'm just saying he said that I said that refugee centers, offices. I didn't say that. I said a site, one place in Sandton, in Johannesburg, one place. That one place was raided, not multiple places. And then it's pretty clear to me, based on the comments, that, AI, whatever clown came in my chat earlier and said, well, show us the video. There are no USCIS offices. They closed in 2020. I looked on Grok. I didn't say there was USCIS in office. I never said USCIS had an office in South Africa, that they were doing people there. From the very beginning, as I've told people from the outset, they're going to have to, the way that I would go about this program is the way that they did part of it. I would lease facilities, dance halls, hotels with big conference rooms all over South Africa, in Joburg, in Pretoria, in Petersburg, Polokwane, in Nelspruit, Mbombela, in Durban, eThekwini, and also in PE, as well as Cape Town, as well as Uppington and Bloemfontein. At a minimum, that's where I would put all these centers. I would lease them and have people there, and they would process people. That's how I would do it. That's what I said. So, because they don't have offices and they won't do this at the embassy. But these people that know nothing about anything attacking me, it's just so comical. So they must think they're dealing with some dude who is like, been sitting, hanging out, working for UPS, or, worked for the local bakery for his whole life and decided he was going to go on YouTube and start talking about stuff. It's just so comical to see them embarrass themselves. It is now midnight. Yes, Sammy Struthers. It's past midnight now. So it's now the 17th. Could this have a result that people who are almost finished with the whole process being sped up? Loretta, that's an assumption you're making. It's not an unreasonable assumption. I think what's going to happen is that the president will probably accelerate this program as a consequence of this. And also, people keep freaking about a cap. I wouldn't worry about the cap. I've told you not to worry about the cap all along. That's a planning figure. So, you had a cow in your yard. Wow, Loretta. Are you a cattle thief now? Debbie, good to see you, Debbie. Debbie was such a awesome, always here viewer, and then she gets busy. She's got life, so I don't see her a lot, but she's been around lately. This may be a stupid question, but why was the refugee flight stopped after the raid? Aren't they on commercial flights? You are correct. The flights weren't stopped, so you've got to use the right terminology. There, just another girl. The flights weren't stopped. The flight went. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. The flights left without the refugees. Why? Security concerns. Also, bear in mind, well, I don't want to go into too much depth, but it was impossible based on what happened that day. The safety of the refugee applicants and refugees leaving the country was paramount, and their safety was the issue. This happened at 1:30 in the afternoon. The flight was probably around 8:30. Roughly, that's usually when the flights are out of South Africa, 8:30 time frame. And there wasn't sufficient time to get these people where they had to go. All right? I'll just leave it there. It was about their safety. Their safety was in jeopardy. The good news is we don't lose any money. U.S. government, that's a U.S. carrier, so that plane probably had an extra 32 seats, 35 seats, 40 seats on it tonight. So somebody got to stretch out in economy and stretch their legs because there were no refugees next to them. So it worked out pretty well for some people coming to America tonight. They were economy. They got lots of space. Yep. Does that make sense? Okay. So look, every cloud has a silver lining. If you were a passenger flying to the United States tonight on that Delta flight and the refugees weren't there who had those seats booked and now the whole row is empty, yeah. I don't have to worry about my knee getting jammed up into my chest tonight by some jerk off who leans his chair back. You just stretch out. Francois, hit the road, Jack, and never come back as a message received. Damn, they broke through our fence, drove dogs crazy. My giant schnauzer wanted to take the bull down. Oh. 46 days till the planes stop again. Holden's talking about the continuing resolution will run out on the 30th of January. All about safety, yep. Heinrich Engelbrecht, it's a good question. But whoever did it has a very small intellectual capacity actually authorizing this raid. This was not a smart move. Look, you're not shutting down a KFC or a Spaza. You're not shutting down an illegal tuck shop. You are interfering in a diplomatic operation. And for the trolls who say, I don't know what I'm talking about, embassies only have diplomatic operations on the embassy compound, that's nonsense. Any property owned by the U.S. government is diplomatic property in that country. In addition to that, any place where U.S. diplomats or British or French or Congolese or Namibian diplomats are operating, that is their home, their persons, their vehicles. This is all diplomatic property. And so you cannot simply do these things. And so this is a clear violation of the Vienna Conventions. I'm the only person saying that. No one else is. I haven't heard anybody. CNN didn't say that. The Hill didn't say that. The other people talking about this didn't say that. Is a clear violation of the Vienna Conventions. And it's as simple as that. Something to think about. Home Affairs raiding this place, and also the same Home Affairs who slow down applications. Best of all, this is supposed to be a DA-headed department. You are correct, Garrett Viviers. It is run by Leon Schreiber. This is the biggest diplomatic blunder since Ibrahim Rasool. Yep. Well, there have been plenty of them. Where I'm opposed to mocking Trump at the G20. They probably want applicant information to expropriate the property when they leave. Well, that's an interesting angle there, the veil. Yep. Debbie can't wait to see what's going to be done about it. Well, neither can I. Neither can I. But don't expect anything throughout the morning and afternoon in South Africa. Remember, we're 7 hours behind you. It's midnight. All the decision makers are in bed, or they're planning right now. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Ivan. Oh, Ian von Staden. Sorry about that, Ian. As an experienced individual, would it make sense to you to find leads from past live stream chat comments? Leads for what? For trying to figure out who people are? That's a lot of work. You'd have to have some supercomputer, or someone has lots of time on their hands. That's not worth your time. There are far easier ways to find out who's interested in this program, and I'm not going to discuss them here. Far easier ways. That's why this whole thing about people freaking out about them trying to get a register, calm down. That really isn't germane. Marguerite Junius, welcome to you. It's going to be it's going to be an FAFO Wednesday, possibly. Thank you for your membership. I do appreciate that. Well, Trump is awake. I'm sorry, Philip. You're correct. Trump is awake. Trump and I are both awake right now. So, in fact, hang on a second. Hang on. Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay. Hang on. I have to take a phone call. Just a second here. So, I'm sorry. Yes. Mr. President. Yes, sir. No. I that's not what I said. No, sir. Yes. I did say that. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, talk to your people on the ground, sir. They can tell you what happened. Yeah, footage. I don't know if there's footage. I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, I presume that they have closed circuit television cameras at the venue. I mean, I'm sure that diplomatic security could tell you what's going on, sir. No. I don't. Who told you that, Mr. President? Who told you that? I mean, it's true, but who told you that? I mean, people drop dimes. Look, just because I hated that show, The Apprentice, doesn't mean I dislike you. I mean, no, honestly, I just hated that show. It was annoying. Yeah. No, I didn't say you were annoying, sir. I said the show was annoying. Okay. All right. No, I understand. Okay. Do we have enough C-17s? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Well, thanks for calling at this hour. I just want to say, God bless America, and I'm glad that you turned your head that day in Butler. We saved the world. Let's do it together. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. I'm so humbled that he called me. It's nice of him to call me. Yeah. See, when that happens, usually the phone starts ringing time and time again. Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't tell you guys. I mean, hey, it just stuff happens. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens. And it's the oddest hours these people call. Calling again. Excuse me. Hello? Yes? Sure, I'll take the call. Yeah. Mr. Secretary, yes, pleasure. I didn't vote for you because you're from Florida. Yeah, I appreciate the sense of humor. Look, I'm not the one who called you Little Marco. That was the president. So you're going to have to take that up with him. Yeah, no, I think it is a major situation. Absolutely, I agree 100%. Yeah. No, look, I'm available. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it's what? I can't come now. It's after midnight. The roads are kind of icy. It's kind of dodgy. I don't think you should send a helicopter to pick me up. I mean, that's a bit crazy. We're talking $2,800 an hour for fuel maintenance. We're talking about $8,000 just to fly up here. I know it's a 45-minute flight with a helicopter, but I mean, it's cold weather. And besides, where are they going to land? The place next to my house used to be a field. It could have landed there, but now they put a development in. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. No. Sure. I mean, can you make sure they got clearance to get me into the situation room? I'm happy to be there. Yeah, absolutely. No, sure. No, I don't drink coffee. It's an evil substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind. I mean, you shouldn't be upset about that. You're Cuban. I mean, Cuba's not known for coffee. It's known for cigars. No. Oh, come on. That was funny. Come on. You got to give me a break there. All right. I mean, look, again, I didn't make up the little Marco thing. That was the president, just saying. No, I voted for Ted Cruz. They called him Lion Ted. Remember that? Yeah, anyway. But you guys should let that go. It's been a long time ago. Anyway, so, all right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Secretary. I'll do my best, okay? But you know the traffic. Maybe you can get the troopers to clear the route for me coming down 270 in the morning, okay? All right. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Tomahawk, lots of people in the chat. I've been broadcasting throughout the day. I broadcast for like 8 hours today. We had lots of people who were there. I bet you, based on the number of people who sent me emails, based on the number of people who contact me on WhatsApp, based on the number of people who've chatted here, of the a few hundred people that were at the venue today, I've probably been contacted by over 100 of those people. That isn't a real OG, that Nokia ring. Yep. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Gave you PTSD from your varsity days. Oh my goodness. Nokia ringtone. Oh, I miss Nokia, man. I miss Nokia. I also miss BlackBerry Messenger. That was pretty cool. BBM, remember that? They waited too long to make it available to everybody. It was only on BBM for a long time, on BlackBerry for a long time. No, you haven't seen it in the local news. They're going to cover this up as long as they can. Major diplomatic incident in South Africa. So we had our first interview yesterday and it all went smoothly. Then the venue was raided by BMA. Oh, there's somebody right there that was there. Okay. We left the venue just before 12. I thank God we're not there. Well, it happened about 1:30, Tomahawk. Oh, you're asking if anyone was there. Yeah, Tomahawk. Yeah, you're coming in late. There were lots of people. We've had, in fact, I got my computer acted up a little while ago and I had to restart the stream. So we had about 600 people watching the stream then. And there were at least, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, there were at least 8 to 10 people who were in the chat at that time and who had been there. So yeah, Spiffik was there. Others used to change language in those old Nokias to foreign. Okay. All right. Sarcasm has no boundaries. No, it doesn't. Government will just say, hey, we don't know if this thing is a raid. Yeah, exactly. We'll see what they say. Yeah. Nokia 3310. There you go. That is a real OG. That's exactly what it was. I've got some of those old Nokia's little thin ones. I think I've got a 3310 still. Yep. Remember to like the stream. Yep. Coffee joke was not funny. I love coffee. That's your addiction, Jarethra, not mine. Was the most robust phone to be manufactured. Mine lasts at least 10 times longer than the other 9 phones I've had. Yep. Don't do that, Colonel. Some South Africans will believe you're chatting to Trump. I was on Sky this morning. Okay. There must be closed circuit cameras around that area. Hopefully something comes up. Well, we'll see. Anyway, let me take a look at my videos now from the day and see how they did, because it's after midnight now. It's now the 17th of December here on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Monday was not a very good day on the channel. Didn't have many views. In fact, three low views this week. 3 days this week I've only had, well, in the past week I've only had 50,000 views. That's crazy. I had a few over 100,000, but that's crazy. So, but we definitely had a big day yesterday. Let me take a look at the content and see what happened here. Yeah, I love my Nokias. They were good phones. Shame they only make cheap Chinese crap now. So the South Africa's harrowing experience, which I put up, that one's just now taking off. 20,500 views, 36 subscribers. Thank you for that. So it's a 4,800 viewers in the last 60 minutes. That's a good pace to start off. It was up for about 5 hours because I put up in the evening, and now it's taking off because South Africans are getting up. It's CNN headline: Colonel Wyatt in fight with Florida despite helicopter offer. The breaking news one that I did, that one is kind of leveled off. That was that they rated. That is at 54,000, 156 subscribers from that, but it's really leveled off. It's picking up again this morning, about 1,000 per hour, but yesterday it was hitting 11,000 per hour. So that's, yep, the only place in the world reporting out. You think it would get more attention. Then the ambassador, that was also yesterday. I have a lot of videos yesterday. So that one's Brent Bozell, only 11,800, so 5 subscribers from that one. Then what happened at Blood River? That's 17,000 viewers, 53 subscribers. So that's a pretty good return on investment, 53 subscribers from that video. So those videos on the 16th are 17 and 12 is 29. and 52 is 79, 81, and 12 is 94,000 views on the prepared videos I did yesterday. I don't think I did any shorts, or did I do a short? I did do 2 shorts. I'm sorry, 3 shorts. My goodness, 3 shorts. So the 3 shorts, there's a live highlight. That's 5,000. And then, not to worry, that's another 5,000. That's 10,000. And then the third short got me another 12,000. That one's taking off right now, 12,000. So the 12,000, and that's 22,000 on top of the 93,000. So that's 115,000 right there. Is that right? 22. No, it's more than that. 22, 93, 103, 113. Yeah, 150, 115,000 from that. And then the live streams. How do we do? 16th of December. Several of them got the one that's 47,000 for that one. So add 47,000 to the 115. That's 162. 162. And then the Brent Bozell one, which is the news. That one is at 18,000. That's 179, 180, 180. And then we've got the Refugee Processing Center. That was the one I started earlier. And that's 5,500. So about 190,000 views yesterday. So not bad, but a lot of work to get there. So it took a lot of work. Thank you all for watching stuff, but a lot of content. A lot of content. Yeah. Okay, so only volts I have in my bag is a taser. Ooh, okay, I'm waiting a call to schedule my interviews. I've received a call, an email. Okay, well, good luck with that. Would be good to have Bozell on the ground here just so the colonel has some backup. Yeah, no, that'd be great. That would be great. So if we still can't take good pictures of UFOs, then we might not get footage of the raid. How do I subscribe to your channel on Nokia 3310? You can't, because it didn't have those capabilities. It wasn't a smartphone. Don't do that, Colonel. Okay, all right, okay. All right, cool. So we're caught up on that. This whole debacle will likely persuade many to join the program, but also scare many from going through with it. Yeah, so it'll be a wash. It'll be a wash. Anyway, yeah, so again, I was called all kinds of names, but look at this. CNN, the Oracle itself, reported on this situation. Of course, they used it as an opportunity to trash Donald Trump again, because that's what they do. They also didn't contact me, but they did contact the Amerikaners. Isn't that funny? Your friend has a bag ready, got all documents ready. I'm not really sure what that means, Joe, Texas. Maybe you meant something by that, but I don't get it. But here you go. So CNN says South Africa briefly held U.S. government personnel on refugee assignment amid fraught relationship. It doesn't say they violated diplomatic protocol and committed a serious breach of international relations, but that is what happened. That's one leftist outlet. Here's another leftist outlet, The Hill. The Hill says that South African authorities raid U.S. refugee facility by Rebecca Beich. That's accurate, but the story attacks Trump. And then we had another one up here where I went and got the, is that here? Let me see. Here is Derek Van Buskirk. And this one says, U.S. State Department has verified what I said. We'll have more to say once all the facts are confirmed, but the Trump administration will always stand up for U.S. interests, U.S. personnel, and the rule of law. Interfering in refugee operations is unacceptable. U.S. officials fled, and refugee flights to the U.S. were pulled today, reports WMW Chris, which would be me. Yep. Name them. Okay, cool. Are the Joburg refugee place moved or stayed? Well, Anton, nobody knows that answer. Nobody knows that answer. I doubt that they'll be operating today. Who knows? The Boers were defeated at Blood River by brave warriors. Is that what he said? Even conservative estimates put the number of dead Zulu warriors at 3,000. There's a reason why the Ngome is now called Blood River. It wasn't because, people donated pints of blood and poured it into the river. No. It's called Blood River because the Trek Boers, 464 of them, none of whom perished in the conflict. 3 were wounded. None perished, but at least 3,000 Zulu warriors died that day. That's the Daily Maverick got to say. Daily Shitbird, let's see what they've got to say. Oh, yeah, I covered that. Lusanda Dumeke, who is 29. That's a tragic story. Yep, I covered that story. Thanks, Mad Max. South Africa has a knack of producing world-class loose forwards, and Lusanda Dumeke was no exception. She died at the age of 29. Wow, that's unfortunate. The Blue Bulls company confirmed their star captain, who led the club to 3 consecutive Women's Premier League titles from 2023 to 2025, has died. She was only 28. I read she was 29. Whatever the case, it's really sad. Sad situation. Yeah, a lot of caps for the Lady Bucks. Colin Brazier, thank you for your subscription. What happens to today's appointments? Can they contact? No, I don't know what happens. They'll be contacting them directly, I would suspect. Yeah, is Devin Hofmeyer here? Welcome, Devin. What's going on, man? Yeah. So no, I'm sorry. You can rewrite history all you want, but you cannot hide the fact that the Zulu and the Trek Boers were itching for a fight. They met in the Nkome River in KwaZulu-Natal. And in that battle on the 16th December, 1838, it's not a source of pride for me. It's not a source of glee. It's a statement of fact. The Trek Boers handed the Zulu their hat. And it's not because the Zulu didn't have weapons. It's not because the Zulu didn't outnumber them. They did. Their tactics were flawed. They weren't brave warriors. They had no choice. If they didn't go, they would have been stabbed in the back with an assegai for not going forward. So Lioness says, I decided to read the comments on X last night. Was absolutely shocked and flabbergasted at the idiocy and hatred. Sad world. I'm so glad the media started to report it too. Yes, Linus. And see, that's what happens when, this is what happens when Briefly and the Newsroom Africa and the Daily Shitbird, the Daily Maverick, call me a YouTuber. Again, that's an effort to diminish what I do. I'm a consultant, if you want to say that's my occupation right now. This is one portion of my consultancy. It's the media portion of my consultancy, and only a small portion of that. I write for newspapers. I still write articles for professional journals. That's part of that too. I do speaking engagements. I give business advice. I also teach. All of that falls under the rubric of that. So if you can call me Anthony, you can call me a consultant. You could have the courtesy to call me Colonel Retired, but they don't do that. They also don't mention that I have 30 years as an intelligence analyst. They also don't mention that I've written successfully for the President of the United States, or that I've saved 640,000 black Africans from starving to death, or that I was responsible for the successful rebuilding of the Armed Forces Liberia after a 13-year conflict. They don't say that. None of that. They don't say that I've established and run successful HIV programs in 6 countries around Africa, or that I lived in 8 countries in Africa and worked in over 30 or 40 of them. They never mention that. They don't say I'm a combat veteran. They don't say I worked at the National Security Agency where I ran a $3 billion program, or that I was a defense intelligence analyst who wrote 1,200 intelligence products. They don't say that. They say YouTuber. And that allows these morons to act like fools. They don't say that I've worked in dozens of embassies, that I've lived in countries at 8 of them where I was an embassy employee and carried a diplomatic passport. They don't say that I worked with the African Union, that I've worked with the United Nations, that I worked with the Southern African Development Union. I was the liaison to the SADC and to the African Union. They don't tell anybody that. Why? To diminish my bona fides. Why? Because they're hate wankers. Because they can't handle the truth. You see, I am a unicorn. Not many people like me who have the breadth of experience and background I have. They just don't exist. So they don't know how to handle it. So he's a YouTuber. Well, YouTube is one small aspect of my life, although today it seems like it's my whole life. That's all I've done today. Yep. You sent me the full speech on WhatsApp. Okay, thank you for that, Nicey, okay? Or Nikki, excuse me. The scribe at Blood River actually counted and recorded the number of dead Zulu. That 3,000 includes that would die of their wounds later on. Also, Dirk, I doubt that included the number that washed down the river. How far down the river did he go? I mean, the Nkome was flowing that day. Yeah, the public can buy these. This isn't from the White House. They do branded stuff. This is from the there's a store across the street from the Eisenhower Executive Building, which is where the White House compound is, in public, right on the corner there. You go in, they have all kinds of stuff. So I got that. I bought this bust of George Washington. Picked that up over there. I also bought a cap, this one here. So it's from the White House Historical Association. That's their store. So White House Historical Association. Yep. So I bought this cap, and I bought a White House T-shirt. I bought a bunch of stuff. So, you know, because I don't get that. I'll get this coin, commemorative challenge coin. There you go. So White House, nice little box for it. There's Washington. There's Lincoln. There's the coin inside. So, yeah, so I bought all that stuff. So, I mean, tourists buy that stuff. I was basically being a tourist, I guess. Yeah, so that stuff available. Yeah, now in South Africa, they have Wyatt derangement syndrome. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, it doesn't matter your credentials. They always try and insult your intelligence. Of course, because they're idiots. Currently, if you received a mail to be at the interview site today, should you go? I don't know, Philip. I don't know what advice to give you on that. Let me see if I can't. Let me see if let me check on something real quick. I'm looking to see if I have a message. Okay. Let's say 9 a.m. to 9:15, 16. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something else. Oh boy. Okay. I don't like the update to WhatsApp is not nice. I don't like it. Who's this? Somebody sent me a link. Copy. Let me see what this is. Paste and go. Okay. Oh, guys say I'm making up stories. Okay, so here you go. Let me put that in there. Thank you. I don't know. He's gave a link to my videos, so I don't know. Okay, there's the CNN one. Here's the... I don't know what that guy's saying. So that was my video, so I don't know what that was about. Yeah, I thought we already had the last day, so I'm not sure what they're saying. So anyway, all right. Yep. So I'm getting messages from people here. Okay, no, I thought I got another message there. I wasn't. Junior is running scared, hence the stooping to harassing and scare tactics. Explain, what's this? What is this here? That's an OG. Buy a MAGA hat. Well, actually, people wanted MAGA hats. In 2020, I arranged half a dozen MAGA hats. I think it was 7 MAGA hats for people who were Trump supporters in South Africa. I sent that by DHL. It cost $325 for shipment. It was less than a kilo, the box. And I sent it to Ronaldo, and he didn't get it for 6 weeks because South African customs officials demanded a bribe that was in excess of the total value of the package. The value of the package was less than $100. It should have been duty free because it was a gift. It wasn't commercial products. They demanded a bribe of close to, I think, $400 or $500. Yeah, eventually got the package, but yeah. So Spiffik is back. Spiffik, you were there today, weren't you? Someone was asking about who was there at the venue, not today, yesterday. Who was at the venue yesterday? Yeah, Paul Stapleberg. Well, you already had membership. They must have renewed yours. Okay. Holy moly, that's a lot. What's a lot? All the views? Oh, Toy just did a video? I didn't see that. So, yeah, what did he say? But it's probably not for cons. Yeah. Vanity Toy. Okay, here we go. Was it live or prepared? Let me see.
It is now precisely 7.
Okay. Okay, what's going on here?
From Uppington in the Northern Cape of South Africa, chatting to you all who is interested in what has happened over the past couple of days. Of course, yesterday was the day of the vow for Afrikaners, people who believe in the accord they have struck with God in the time of the Blood River battle against the Zulu forces. It was the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Time, authorities, South African authorities, raided the offices of the U.S. Refugee Processing Center in Johannesburg. And it's clearly an action to intimidate those people who is in the process of applying to leave South Africa for the United States, but also trying to intimidate the workers, people employed by the United States Embassy, who is processing all the different applications.
So Vena did cover this. That's 2 minutes and 33 seconds. By the way, it looks like I got a new camera. Looks fantastic. Yep. So I'll have to chat with him. Yep. Oh, that's Vanity Toy. He's a friend of mine. He was a special forces soldier in the was the early 80s? I'm trying to remember when it was, when that raid was. But he did the raid in the Cabinda enclave, and they were dropped by submarine there to take out the oil refinery operations. And he was captured and held a prisoner of war and denied. South African government denied that he was a South African, and so he was there for a long time. Oh, you were there last week. Okay, thank you, Spiffik. Okay. Oh, yes, it was a lot. Well, that's air freight for packages. That's what DHL charges. Yep. Good to see Vanit covering it too. Yep. Mega caps take a lot. 270. I got my cap last week. Well, they didn't have them 5 years ago. They didn't have them in 2020, so they had to come from the U.S. So I got those caps and sent them over there. Yeah, that was a lot. It was a lot of money. Yep. Whoever. Okay. So at this stage. Okay. So I think we're caught up on all that. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah. What an interesting situation, huh? What an interesting situation. Hey, Debbie. How's it going? Yep. So happy that we still celebrate our culture. Yep. Good morning, Arc Precision. Good to see you again. I think it's been a while. See what Afriform Solidarity will report. That will be interesting. In fact, let me go to their website. Or not website, go to their Twitter. So let me go to Kali Creel, see if he's up yet. Kali Creel, if he's said anything on this yet. No, nothing there yet. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Yaku Kleinhaus for a long time because what's going on? My grandfather fought in the Angola War for us against communism. I would rather call myself American than be part of commie South Africa, says Spiffik. The reconciliation between the Zulu factions that didn't side with Britain is the biggest reconciliation the country has seen. It's much more symbolic event than the battle in the Congo River. Well, I think you're right about that, I don't disagree. Don't disagree, but of course they intentionally ignore that. Thank you very much, Sami, for becoming a member. Is there a place where we can send some South African snacks to you as a thank you? Hannes Olivier. No, if in fact, if I get back to South Africa, you can just give me something there. Thank you. Keep me going, keep my energy up, my blood sugar up while I'm running around South Africa. Some interesting stories from black survivors of Blood River recorded by missionaries. That's true. In fact, I saw some of those interviews in the 19th century. People were very old. Been a hectic day for you, Colonel. You put in a lot of hours. You need some quality rest. Crystal, what doesn't get any easier? Doesn't get easier. You guys don't even know. I went and spent an hour and a half at the Veterans Organization. So I had to go in, sign payroll checks. Then I had to sign approve an authorization to fix the heating system. The HVAC systems, we have 3 of them mounted on the roof and 2 of them broke. And the bar area was cold. The dining room was warm because the heat is in there. We don't have central heating. We've got multiple heating units, 3 of them. And so I had to go in. We got an estimate of $2,500. So that is about 50,000 Rand to repair it. These units are 20 years old. They haven't been maintained properly, so they're going to be stripped apart. It's wintertime, so that was the estimate. So I approved that. So then come in and fix the system before people start complaining and blaming us that we don't know what we're doing, because that's what they'll do. The irony is that 2 weeks ago, we had the systems looked at, and the one in the bar area was functional. The one in the restaurant area was not working. People were complaining about the cold. So we were able to get that one fixed, and now it's 2 weeks later, and the opposite. The one in the bar doesn't work. The one in the dining room does work. Anyway, I love Biltong. I also love Druvos. Yep. So, yep. I also love Energate. Yep. So, well, just another girl. I do this every day. You guys just don't know. So, hour and a half there, sign payroll checks, send the authorization to fix the heating system, cooling system. I also signed a whole bunch of checks for the accountant, for our beer distributor, for all these things. I think the total amount that I signed tonight authorizing people to spend money was in the order of, let me do the math here real quick. 15 times 17. 255,000 Rand I spent tonight. 255,000 Rand. Not my money. Screenshot. Okay, Mad Max. What's the screenshot? Oh. Yeah, these are just desperate, sad, pathetic losers. He says, I need psychiatric evaluation. It's another black racist. Yeah. Yeah, they need psychiatric evaluation. Sorry, I'm just communicating. I'm actually trying to get someone to come on the show. They sent me a couple voice notes. What's this now? Oh, geez. Oh, it's these people are losers. Stop. Let's stop giving Bianca and her flying crowd any attention. You're going to be outdo the president sleeping. Well, I already outdo him. You just don't know that. Yeah. So Veterans Organization. So I started this about 7:30 in the morning, and started making content. And I went live after 9. Did about a half hour for the first one, and then I did the interview with Byron Shepard, which we couldn't broadcast live. It was all cocked up, but we do have the interview. I'm going to edit and put it up. I've just been busy. After that, I went live, did my program for 3.5 hours. Then I finished that. I went into the Veterans Organization. I came back. I sat down and got some dinner. I was starving. After I ate my dinner, I went live again, and here we are. Yep. So here we are. When states interfere with lawful refugee process, it stops being administrative and becomes strategic signaling. Exactly, Monique. Silence, discretion. This is also a violation of national norms. Do you think there's a risk the refugee program candidates details how that could leak? No, I'm not concerned about that. When you do come south again, it will be most likely be an obstacle course to your courtesy. Oh, well, it's always an obstacle course. I mean, they were spying on me the first time I came there. I don't know why. They considered me a threat. All I do is tell the truth. They get something right, I give them credit for it. Okay. Thank you, Colonel, for your hard work, kindness, respect, and loyalty. We appreciate you and all the news. Constant busy bee. Yep. Yep. You should invite the new ambassador to your show. I would love to invite him to my show. I was supposed to brief him. I was asked to brief him earlier this year, but they called me on the day that I was actually flying to South Africa, and I was at the airport for 9 hours in the USO, and I said, hey, I'm at the airport in Dulles. I mean, I'm outside security. Is he nearby? And they said, yeah, he's right there in Vienna. I said, well, can you send a car to pick me up and bring me back? I'll be happy to go over and talk to him. And then his chief of staff never got back with me. She got busy, and so we never did it. Then, while I was in South Africa, he got roped into the State Department because he'd been nominated, so he wasn't allowed to talk to the press, so and outside individuals. Raiding or interfering with lawful refugee process signals. Yeah, you already said that, Monique. You don't have to say it more than once. Okay, we got it. The raid was just them flexing their spaghetti arms. Back when I started my YouTube channel, people would bless me with a birthday or Christmas gift from the US, UK, even marked as gift. I still had to pay tax before. Exactly. Yeah, there's no tax on a gift. That's especially under a certain limit. If I can ever help you with genealogies, thank you. I'll happily do so. I live in Utah, and I've been doing genealogy for many years. Legal alien, I appreciate that. I'm a genealogist. I have 25,000 people in my family history, too, so I appreciate that. Although I let my Ancestry.com rip-off subscription price expire this year. So let me see if I still got my password here. Log in. Yeah, let me get in. I haven't been in my Ancestry in a few months because I had a lifetime membership, and the bastards cheated me out of it when the British bought it. Send me a text message. See, now I've got to do this, multi-factor authentication nonsense, which is meant to protect me. I get why they're doing it, but anyway, it's still kind of annoying. Ancestry.com, verification code. Okay. Remember this device, submit code. Okay, let me get, I have 2 free Ancestry Discover. What is this 2 free? That's because my subscription is out, you bastards. Year in review. What's this? A year in review. Begin. Okay, I made 244,804 discoveries or hints during my time on Ancestry. I'll thank you, Mad Max, for 35 rand. I'll get to that in a moment. You dug deep and viewed 13,308 records. Let's see how your tree has grown. Your nice growing. You added 26,985 people to your tree since I establishment. 27,000. Tree has helped 3,082 people discover other people. Okay. Your tree rating is strong. Okay. Now let's see what you've learned from Ancestry DNA. Okay. This is interesting. Growth rate. Your match list has grown by 27,688 with new DNA matches. Yeah, I don't need DNA. I already got it. So we're making family discoveries even easier. Okay. You are a clue collector. Okay. From all of us at Ancestry, thank you. Start working on your tree. Okay, let me get to my tree. Okay, so where is my tree at? So, trees. Wyatt Lines Ancestry. Okay. Yep, so that's loading. Go to myself profile. So thank you for the offer. So you're out there in Utah. Okay, legal alien. Cool. That's right. I think you told it for us. So yeah. Yep. I've got my, this is my profile. So yep, got my mother's death, my father's death. Yep. Listed on here. Anyway. Yep. So anyway, yeah, Ancestry.com. I hadn't logged into it for a while since my computer was acting up. But thank you for that. But yeah, Legal Alien, I actually can take you up on that if you can be discreet, because I do research for other family members and friends. And if you could help me on that, yeah, send me an email, Legal Alien, and we can collaborate on genealogy. I was just out in Salt Lake. I was just there. I went to the Family History Library. Is that still on my phone? I wonder if I've loaded those things. Let me see how far back. That was the trip I just did. I can't remember where I put that stuff at. It should still be on my phone. So let me see. I got 1,600 images here. So let me see if I can get the Family History Library. What's this at? Oh, that's my trip out there. But the Family History Library would have been before this, so it's going to be on the phone. That's Yellowstone. Get past Yellowstone. Yeah, that's Yellowstone. Okay. That's getting closer. That's Star Valley. Okay. Star Valley. Come on, got to get back to Salt Lake. Oops, that's not it. So, oh, this was beautiful. This was on the way out to Bear Lake. Check that out. So, the quaking aspen on the side of the hill. That's just incredible. So, I'm trying to find the family history stuff, so I get pictures here. Go back to Salt Lake. Okay, that's the mammoth. I was at the store there. Here you go. Somebody took a picture of me there. So, there you go. That's at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah Mammoth. I look tiny next to that huge puck. Okay, and then here's the Family History Center. Okay, so there you go. This is in the Family History Center, the one they've redone. I hadn't seen this in years. I haven't been out there in ages, but that's the Family History Center in Salt Lake. Yep, and so all the computers there. Let's see. So here's a lady who helped me find some very important research. She was very kind. Actually, I'm the one that figured it out because she couldn't quite figure something out, but she put me on the right path to find it out. Very helpful, nice lady. So, yep. And this is the document that I found. It's from a relative going back to Germany in the 19th century, that document right there. So I took a picture of it, so I got it. Yeah, so that was fantastic. Yep. And here it is, a picture from the outside, the Family History Library. FamilySearch.org right there in Salt Lake. You'll notice the top that looks like a honeycomb up here. See that, like a waffle? And I think that's supposed to represent the honeycombs from beehive, because it's a beehive state. Bees work together as a team. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. So, but thank you, Legal Alien. Thank you for that. Okay, after they murdered Peter Teeth, got that already. Okay, so do you think we'll still be talking about the same issues 20 years down the road? I don't know. I think the bowel's going to break here soon, the way things are going. Jan Smuts ordered the removal of graphic depictions of violence. The Fort recommended the Boer families that massacres and babies being smashed on wagon wheels. Here's why Trump imposes full travel bans to 7 more countries and Palestinians, mentioning Afrikaners again. Really? Okay, News 24. I've been there for a few hours. Let's go see what they got. So they don't talk about the raid, but they talk about that. Okay. Let me go to, I don't see it. I don't see it. Nothing about Trump. Trump condemned for saying Rob Reiner brought on his own murder. Yeah, that was not cool, what Trump said. Definitely. Someone said I never report on shootings in America. You're full of it. I talked about the Brown University shooting and criticized it. If and when you come to Cape Town, I'll buy a nice cold one. Thank you. Don't underestimate the lengths the government will go to. There are a lot of bigger things at play here. Massive amount of funding depends on carefully designed projection of government image. In living in pods and eating bugs. Well, if Bill Gates has his way, that'll be true. Hey, Butterfly Refuse, what's up? You posted 4 minutes ago on Truth Social. Okay. You had a great trip, met awesome people. Yeah, I've had a lot of great trips to South Africa. Good morning. Cannot believe the raid on refugees. Southern government will not help themselves. Well, Super Dave, you need to look at this not as a raid on refugees, but as a raid on U.S. diplomats. That's what's going on here. A raid on U.S. diplomats. That's the issue here. So I don't see this News 24 story. I'll just do a search for Trump on News 24 and see what we find here. Okay. Okay. Nope. Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it. So yeah, it's not even a top story listed. They've got other ones that have older dates. So they have 16th. This is an hour ago. See, this doesn't make any sense. Let me show you this real quick. This is Cockprot 24. On the left-hand side, you got developing Trump condemned, that one there. Then you've got, that's the 16th December, why Trump is demanding to see social media. And then down here, that's the one from an hour ago. That should be at the top. But that's Cockprot 24. They don't even know how to manage their website properly. So let's take a look at what it says. Trump imposes full travel ban on 7 more countries. 40, the number of countries whose citizens face restrictions. Actually, it was 19 and 7, so that's not 40. I don't know where he's getting 40 from, unless they're talking about the pre-existing ones that the other administrations put. Okay. Trump has had a long history of hostility to immigration as a signature issue. That's not true. That's a lie. Who wrote this? AFP. That's a lie. Trump doesn't have a hostility towards immigration. That's a lie. Trump has hostility towards illegal aliens, criminals who violate our sovereignty. That's who he has hostility towards. Absolutely. But not these guys are liars. He wants to prevent foreigners in the United States who would undermine and destabilize the culture of government institutions. Yep. Syrians were banned days after 2 U.S. troops and civilians were killed. Yep. Trump administration already informally barred Palestinian Authority passport holders. Yep. Other countries subjected include Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Sierra Leone, and South Sudan, as well as Laos. Well, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are all countries with massive terrorist problems and jihadists. So, yep. Let's see. Angola, Antigua, and Barbuda, Benin, Dominica, Gabon, Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Tonga. Huh. Yeah, Angola, Senegal, and Senegal have all been prominent U.S. partners. Yes, that is. They've been prominent partners with Trump, too, so that's a bit surprise. Yeah, the ban is ban entry of Somalis, Congo, Afghanistan, Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Myanmar, Sudan, and Yemen. I don't have a problem with those. I do have a problem with Malawi, not letting people from Malawi come here, or from Zambia. I do have a problem with that. And Bermuda, I think a problem with that too. But anyway, so that story's out there. Thank you for that. The depictions were replaced with less graphic ones so as not to cause offense. This was the beginning of the end of the Boer history. Now forgotten people. They're not forgotten. That's fine. Change your name, Butterfly Refuge. I've seen Democrats say that a lot of illegals don't commit crimes, but what they don't understand somehow is that entering the country, the way they did it, it's a felony. Entering the United States illegally is a felony. So they're criminals from the outset. The moment they get here, they're criminals. Then they steal Social Security numbers. They depress wages. They bring pestilence. Some of them come in here with measles, mumps, rubella, all these diseases. They bring malaria in, some of them. Yes, and they undermine safety, public safety in places, whether they intend to or not. Whether they're good people or not, it doesn't matter. The mere fact that you work illegally, you depress wages. If an employer will pay you under the table without paying taxes and save themselves a lot of money, then you're depressing the labor market and you harm all Americans, particularly black Americans. Yep. Okay. Whoever was born before 79 there is the last generation. You are correct, Helena. That's true. South African officials have no idea what sovereignty means. Drives me crazy. No one is stopping South Africa from doing stuff, but there are always consequences to actions. Yeah, there will be consequences to this. We'll see what the U.S. government says. Let me check on something real quick. Okay, I'm just looking for something here. So, Okay. The person I was going to ask to come on is out walking their dogs. Sorry, folks. Somebody is a little concerned about something. I appreciate where they're coming from. But this is the problem with your community. The people hear what they want to hear. Okay. So I've sent that to someone. Sarah Bartman. That's his lineage. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Did hear correctly yesterday that you have diplomatic passport, so it would be more protection. No, I do not have a diplomatic passport. You didn't hear correctly. See, you heard what you wanted to hear, or you thought you heard. I had a diplomatic passport when I served in embassies. Yep, I carried a diplomatic passport in Liberia, in Botswana, in Malawi, Nigeria, Mauritania, Uganda, Ethiopia, all over the continent. Yep. I'm always working. I don't like Florida because the highest peak elevation is a landfill. I don't like Florida because it's unbearably hot and humid. I don't like Florida because it's the path of hurricanes. I don't like Florida because it's flat and boring. I don't like Florida because of the insects. That's why I don't like Florida. It doesn't appeal to me. I like mountains. Okay. 8 days to Christmas. That's true. I got 9 on there. It's time to change it. Yep. Boers were absorbed into the larger Cape. Okay. I didn't even talk about not liking Florida. That's an old thing. Yeah, San Francisco is built on the remains of logging industry, if I remember correctly. Or Seattle was built on the remains of logging industry, excuse me. I don't know what San Francisco is built on. Comes out, I would suggest, yeah, no, let's quit talking about me coming to South Africa. I simply won't come. I'll keep talking about it. I just won't come back. Simple as that. I mean, I don't know why people want to sit here and endanger me by talking about that. That's just not smart. What is MTH? I don't know what that is. Earthquake. Oh, yeah, I got it. Anyway, all right, so. So let me go back to my profile real quickly. So sorry, folks. Trying to find something here. Oh, my freaking refrigerator just finally stopped making noise. I didn't realize it was making noise. My little college refrigerator that sits in this room was making a lot of noise there. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so anyway, sorry about that, folks. I'm back here now. You got my full attention. Where are we at here? Sound dropped off 10 minutes ago. The sound is here. Sound dropped off 10 minutes ago. That's there. Sound is there. No, the sound is fine. It's pegging out on the red here. Let me turn the microphone up all the way. How's that? That doesn't change anything. Yeah, sound is fine. It's not low. It's you guys. I just heard it just fine. Okay. Hey, Crypto Noob, what's going on? You think those who is through the process flat sooner than I don't know, Andres Swanepoel. That's a tough. I can't answer that. Sound better your side. Okay, well, I pumped up a little bit, but that's all I can do. Yeah, YouTube issue. My volume is all the way up. Yep. I have that with a lot of videos, so it's just, yeah, mostly loud. It's Matty Dixon. Mostly loud. Thank you for that, Matthew. Appreciate that. God bless it. All right, so I'm trying to communicate with someone. This is important. There's a person that's affected by this, so I'm just trying to make sure that they're okay. So multitasking. So I apologize if I'm not with you every second. I'm trying to multitask here. Okay. Okay. Typing has really gotten bad. I used to be a good typist. All right, that'll take care of that. Cool. Okay. So I'm communicating with you, Strider, right now. So, all right, cool. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Someone let me know if something's going with him. So I need to just say this very quickly here. So I need to let you guys know. Okay, I said this earlier. I'm going to say this now. Two things. First off, Lily Fundaplas has been getting attacked all day on social media. For what reason? People are attacking her for disclosing location. Lily's never disclosed any locations. In fact, she's discouraged people from telling that. But again, that misses the point. Lily has nothing to do with what happened today, nor do I. Or not today, yesterday now. It's yesterday. No, Lily on the 16th December, she has nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with it. There's nothing we said or did that caused that. Not at all. Again, the South African government, it's not a secret where these locations are. They know about it. The U.S. government has gotten these people in the country with visas to come there to work. They have the approval of the government of South Africa to be there. This is not a consequence of that. The reason I tell people not to put locations in the chat or discuss it in Facebook and WhatsApp is because there are Ferrayas. I'm going to come back to that. There are Ferrayas out there, traitors, betrayers, who are trying to cause harm. You think what happened at Bondi Beach was something? Imagine if some scumbag in South Africa has a hair up their backside about this program and they find out where these locations are and they show up there with a knife or a gun or some other commit violence. That's what we're trying to protect people from. That is operational security. There's no need for anybody outside the program to know about it, but the government of South Africa knew about this. So people need to stop attacking Lily Fundaplas. Also, on the video there earlier when I brought up the topic of Ferrayas, people are falsely attributing what someone told me. They saw someone who was very friendly to the officials. That was their perception. And that's what I said. That's what they perception. That person, I actually know the person. I know the person, and they're not a Ferraya. They are a refugee trying to get out just like everyone else. So I was very clear about that on 2 broadcasts earlier tonight. So that's 2 different things we got to clarify here. So Afrikaners need to stop attacking Afrikaners. South Africans need to stop attacking South Africans, okay? All right? What is a Krista special broadcast? What is that? I think the U.S. government, well, we'll see. They'll be either restrained or there'll be sanctions on some ANC leaders. Yep. So that's the answer. So much for everything you do, from the news to so much more. You're a real blessing. It brightens my day listening to you. Thank you, Renell. Your songs just hit that spot. Thank you. Yeah, I have no idea what the question was supposed to be. Actually, we need to write to the U.S. ambassador when he gets here to have the colonel run the program. Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? What's the following U.S. dishes you prefer? Philly cheesesteak, Chicago deep dish pizza, Texas mixed barbecue platter, New England seafood. Well, I don't like New England seafood. I like Chesapeake Bay seafood, and specifically steamed crabs. I like Chicago deep dish pizza, but I'm particular about what kind of pizza. No mushrooms, no anchovies, no onions on my pizza. Philly cheesesteak. I like Philly, but I make my own version of Philadelphia cheesesteak. I can eat the steak on it, but I don't have onions. You can have the peppers and the steak on there. But what I prefer is what I call a Western Philly. A Western Philly is something I created. I'm sure I'm not the most first person to do it, but I create a Western Philly. So they have a chicken cheesesteak, and I like white-breasted chicken meat, chopped up, like the steak, grilled. But the difference is, instead of provolone cheese, I put Swiss cheese on it, and the chicken, when it's grilled, is grilled on the grill with barbecue sauce put on it. So the barbecue is cooked into the meat, and then it's put on the bread, on the bun. Then you melt Swiss cheese over top of it. And of course, you cook it with the peppers too, but no onions. That's what I call a Western Philly. I like that. True. The less the info, the safer you are. Yep. Lily never mentioned any location. She warned people not to. Yes, and she's being attacked by Afrikaners, mostly those in the States. And just like the lady earlier who people are falsely assuming something, some people have already attacked that person who was in the room. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Not a ferraya. Okay? Oh, it does sound yummy, and in fact, I'm hungry now. I've made myself hungry. I've been mentioned on a few channels now. I want to watch this fireworks show. What are you talking about, Corona? What do you mean I've been mentioned on a few channels? Please be more specific. That's not really helpful. People are attacking you on Twitter again. Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they are. Because they're mindless, drones. They don't have, you can't. First off, what are they attacking? Okay? First off, let's do this. Okay? So what are they attacking? Are they claiming that this never happened? Well, here's the problem with that. If it never happened, then tell me why CNN is reporting it. CNN. That says 5 hours ago. It was a lot more than 5 hours ago. Let me see when it was. It was now 7 hours ago. 7 hours ago. This story was reported 7 hours ago. That would be, CNN reported this story 7 hours ago. I mean, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is 9 hours after I reported the story. So for 9 hours, it took abuse because it was made up. Where's the video? It never happened. You're just a liar. You're just making this up. You're a CIA plan. What? Here's the story. If you don't believe that, go to The Hill. The Hill publishes at 4:04 p.m. That was 7 hours after I published. Southern Refugee Authorities raid U.S. refugee facility. There you go. So there's The Hill. Both of those are left-leaning publications. CNN and The Hill are left-leaning. They spent most of the stories talking about Trump and hating Trump. But they did report the story that I reported 7 hours prior and 9 hours prior. And so I took all kinds of abuse. And it wasn't just that. Here you go. This is the Daily Caller. The Daily Caller covers it. They actually credit me for that right there. See that? Yep. So I got attacked for lying and making up a story. But what do they got? What do they got? They call me names. It's ad hominem attacks. They don't like the news, so they attack the messenger. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. We have so many trolls in these podcasts and comment sections. They're only here to spread dissent and disinformation. It may only be a small number of actual Afrikaners, and the rest are trolls. Is this a Christmas special broadcast? Is that a smart-ass question? What do you mean a Christmas special broadcast? You saw the name of it. It's Night Owls. I don't understand. I was the first, and I'm grateful for that. They have pie on their face. Yes, of course they have pie on their faces. They also have pie on their faces about telling people that about green cards. They have pie on their face for that. They have pie on their face about the employment authorization document. They have pie on their face about this only being for farmers, only being for Afrikaners, only being for white South Africans. All of it. They still persist in their lies. The government, the Biancas, all these other liars, they persist. Okay, let me just do this very quickly here. Let me find this very quickly here. That's not the one I want, sorry. Let me get rid of that. I'm looking for one of these that's over here on my other screen. Come on, there we go. There we go, refugees. Okay, that's what I need. So let me get into my Gmail account very quickly here. Okay. Oh, so Monday 40 flew out from Johannesburg. Cool. Okay, so I'm looking for this. All right, here we go. So, all right. Hi, Colonel Chris. My name is blank. I arrived in the United States with my family as refugees from South Africa. We recently resettled in blank, California. We are a colored family. I am writing because our family is currently in crisis situation, urgently needs assistance. A colored family. Yeah. And so these clowns still persist in lying about what's going on. Yep. So there you go. Yes, I keep proving them wrong and wrong over and over again. First off, they attack my bona fides. Then they try to diminish me by calling me a YouTuber. No shame in that. That's 100,000 subscribers right there, despite shadow banning. Yep, emphasis on white. That's all they do because they're racist. Anybody that obsesses and calls a refugee program for whites is a racist. They are. I'll call them out. You're a racist. You're a racist. You're a racist. Yep. Are those that were going to fly out last night safe? Yes, they are, Jared Vessels. I confirm that. One of the people flying out last night that didn't go is a personal friend of mine whom I've known for several years in South Africa and visited that person multiple times. That person is safe and indicated that they were taken to a hotel. They're okay. And the U.S. is ensuring their safety. So they're going to try to get them out as soon as possible. So it's okay, Sami. It's okay. No, I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the concern. I appreciate the concern. And when you catch up to this in 17 minutes, I just saw your chat. And when you catch up to this in 17 minutes, Sami, it's okay. I know it's not malicious, but that's not something we should be talking about because that just gives stupid people ideas. There are stupid people watching this broadcast. No, who is this Dutoy person? I don't know this. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is. Is this on YouTube? I don't know who that is. No, I don't pay attention to these people that mimic me and copy me and steal my content. You guys tell me about it. I don't go looking for it. What the hell? Why is it taking so long here to load? YouTube is not loading now. Okay, let me try a new window. Might be that browser that was the problem. Nope, it's not the browser. It's YouTube. YouTube is acting up. Wow. Am I still live? Can you guys tell me if I'm still live? Because YouTube is not loading for me. Well, there it goes, finally. Okay, let me see. God bless it. So what's this guy's name? Andries Dutoy. Andries. Is Andries Dutoy? Okay, I don't know who that is. Never heard of this guy.
Good evening, Tuesday, 16 December 2025. Good evening. It's English again. Now, as a young student, I used to follow his speeches wherever he went. Anti-Semitism, anti-Western hostility. At that point, I thought, remaining silent, Wyatt and Colonial. I scan watch all, if not most, of the videos in circulation pertaining to South Africa, which includes your negative streams, which are mostly destructive of view and nature towards persons of high caliber with excellent past service records and lies, whom are contributing positively for our people in awakening the hidden dangers that our people don't see along with their futures.
Is he reading something, or is that about me? I don't know. He's not just a YouTuber. I like this. Oh, it's Colonel Isla. He wrote that. Okay. So what is the guy about? Was that, I don't know. That's not Lieber. Yeah, it's like he's reading from something.
Which need highlighted. History tends to repeat itself, and hence the urge. And I haven't got a problem with Wynand and Colonial's critique on the ANC in South Africa.
I don't know. I've never heard of the guy, and I don't know what the issue is with him. He's got 705 subscribers. I don't know anything about him. I'm not going to say good or bad things about him. You can look him up yourself. I mean, yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. Did he say something good about me? I mean, he says there's a contradiction between Rob McGinnity. Rob McGinnity and I are friends, so I don't know what the contradiction is. Mad Max, thanks, Willem. Okay. What did Willem say? Okay. Okay, what did Willem say? Now this is not opening. What is with this browser? This is annoying. Let me try another one. Hang on a second here. Okay, let me try that. Let's see if that works. Okay. It won't go. Oh, there it goes, finally. Anyone in this group that can chat privately about refugee program application process. This is not a group. This is a broadcast. Okay, it's taking a long time to get the YouTube stuff. Okay, now it takes me out there. So Oh, there you go. To anyone who said WM Chris is fake news or unreliable, it was later reported on CNN, The Hill, and other American outlets. Washington asked our government declared our government did not respond as yet. Thank you kindly. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. By a donkey film. Yes, the... Okay, trolls, that's not how you spell trolls. That's how you spell trolls. They is not typed that way, it's typed this way. And cognitive is not spelled that way, it's spelled that way. I mean, honestly, did they really? First off, there must be really stupid people. Did they think I would actually run with that story without some kind of confirmation? Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's these people are not very bright. These are white and black and brown people. They are white, black, and brown people that are not very smart. They really, really are not smart. I don't know if it's a lack of education, if it's just demonic possession, or what's wrong with them. Okay, take care, Maddie. Okay, thanks for everything you've done for us. Okay, Anna Marie, you're welcome. No, I would take the chance if I was you. I gave staff 30 years to stay warrant off 26-year-old junior's color. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Oh, he's reading Rob's reply to his previous video. Okay. Okay, thank you, Reno. Yeah, I'm still live. No, this thing is acting up. So, yeah, so what was, this is, so Willem Petzer just published this in the last hour. So I'll retweet that, repost that. Yeah, he said, to everyone who said WM to Chris was fake news or unreliable, it was later reported on CNN, The Hill, and other American outlets. Washington asked our government to clarify. Our government did not respond as of yet. Yep. And I was called a liar, called fake news, and called all kinds of nasty things. So, yep. It is misleading to call the Trust Me Bro podcast a supremacist, a report. More accurate would be to call it baseless propaganda. So the leftists are attacking CNN now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to have to put this link in there too. Daily Caller also reported this. So where's it at? Where's the Daily Caller? Let me give that to him real quick. So I didn't get back to where that was at. No, was that okay? So. Okay. So I said left of center CNN and The Hill reported it 9 and 7 hours after I broke the story. And right of center Daily Caller has also confirmed it through the State Department. There you go. All right. So there you go. So thank you, Willem Petzer, for that. Spot on. Why must fake news report anything first before they deem you? Exactly. See, Gil Gerard noticed, but oh no. Gil Gerard, I liked him, man. Buck Rogers, he was great. Yeah, Gil Gerard, first thing pops up. Yep. Died December 16th. Wow. Yeah. He was a stud, man, in that show. Let me see if I can get this to come up without getting a copyright. Oh, it's Instagram. I don't want Instagram. Ugh. Isn't he on YouTube? What is going on here? Is my internet slow all of a sudden? Let me check this out. No, it's not. Google's coming up. Internet speed test. Let me see what's going on because I've sometimes have a hard time getting things loaded. No, I got 500, 600 megabytes per second. No, that's not a problem. It must just be the website. Buck Rogers in the 21st Century, starring Gil Gerard. There you go. Let me try to. Yeah, here he is. Buck Rogers. Gil Gerard. He was a studly-looking fellow back in the 70s. Probably hard to see on your tiny screens. January 23rd, 1943 to December 16th, 2025. Buck Rogers. Yeah, man. Gil Gerard. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he, television series. It was on for 79 to 81. I love that show. He has one child. Yep. Yep. And he, on December 16th, his wife Jan announced on Facebook he died following a rare and viciously aggressive form of cancer. He was 82. Yep. Yep. Wow. There are only 37 episodes of Buck Rogers. That is also where Erin Gray, oh my gosh, I had such a crush on Erin Gray. She was so awesome, Erin Gray. Erin Gray was amazing. How old is she now? She must be in her 80s. I assume she's still around. Erin Gray. Let's look up Erin Gray. Erin Gray, American actress. Yeah, she was so beautiful. She is 75. Yeah. So she was born in Honolulu. Yeah. Erin Gray. Here she is in Buck Rogers. Yeah, man, I had such a crush. Such a crush. Let me get that picture. There you go. Here she is. Look at that. There's Erin Gray on the right-hand side. Brunette. Such a pretty lady. Yeah. Dual citizen. My wife did the green card application while living in Saudi. It took years, but went into Jim Hacking's live YouTube stream for immigration advice and help. Who the hell is Jim Hacking? And what does that have to do with anything? 10 years ago on the 16th December, my grandmother died. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow, 101 years old. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I love Buck Rogers. Gil Gerard. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. Now, where the heck is my stream at? I got so many windows open now. I don't know which one's which. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. I don't think I'm live right now. Well, I mean, I don't think I'm live, but I don't think I have the link to it. TC Silver Eagle. Okay, so, yeah. How are we doing this stream? So, we got 5,000 showed up for the one earlier. Yep. It says connect. I am connected. There we go. There we go. Gee, many crickets. What was the goofy robot name? I forget. Yeah, something like that. I remember. Yeah, yeah. Buddy Buddies app. Oh, was that wasn't the name, was it? The early episodes of Buck Rogers are now in the public domain. Oh, you serious? Wow, that's cool. Then I could play it on my show. Wow. Grandkids knocked on the door. Okay, take care, Birdie. Enjoy your grandkids. Okay. Yeah, sad to hear that he died. Leaving the podcast. Don't want to be crucified. All right, Buster, take care. Nothing concerned about. The U.S. take confidentiality applicants very seriously. Yeah, first off, there's no data that was available from people's information that was put in. It was all put in computers, and those computers were secured and taken away. So, yeah. Yeah, this was an attempt to sabotage people. Quid says, the refugee program is getting me a lot of notoriety. You're blowing up the internet. Nah, I don't know about that. I was called by the Daily Caller today. I was interviewed by the Daily Caller. I've been interviewed by CBS News in the past, by CNN, but CNN buried it. And the Dutch, the Bram Vermeulen, yeah. Yep. Yep. Obviously don't know you, Colonel. You never even run a story without confirmation. Yep. I mean, if I do, I tell you it's rank speculation or it's my analysis. And I also put lots of qualifiers on things if it's necessary. Yeah, I probably lack education, demonic possession. Yep. Home affairs, yeah. What is love, hate? What's he upset about? Okay, I don't see love, hate here. Okay. Some of our systems are linked to most government departments unless Home Affairs doesn't know when you apply. No, U.S. government is not linked at all to Home Affairs. No. Yeah, no, I got you, Quids. He's an Afrikaans reading English. He's badly translating his head. Yeah, I don't know what that guy's about. I'm not going to say good or bad things about him, but Rob McGimpsey's a friend of mine, so I can't imagine there's something incongruent. I mean, Rob and I may have different opinion. Maybe that's who he's talking about, but I don't know. We'll respond to this raid in the same way they did with the tariff demands. They'll double down, but their smart thing would just say they had no knowledge of it and the heads will roll. I don't know if they're going to process refugees there again. As far as I understand, the processing refugees is going to end today, so I don't know. Let me look and see if I'm checking on something here. Okay, no information there. So, all right, what's this? So my content's being used in TikTok. Yeah, people are stealing my content left and right. Somebody's updating me here. Who's this? Okay, getting all kinds of messages, folks. Just looking. I got stuff coming in. Someone sent me the CNN article. A couple people sent me that. Yep, I had that. Okay. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, just checking on that stuff. Crazy times, indeed. And in the morning, I've got to go give out Christmas gifts. In the morning, we have something called the Giving Tree. So we put a Christmas tree up in our veterans organization near the main office next to the bar. And it has tags on it for less fortunate children. The schools collect the names of kids who family don't have income and can't give them a nice Merry Christmas. And what happens is you go and you take the, pretend it's a piece of paper. It's not a piece of paper, pretend it's a piece of paper. So you go to the tree, you pull the tag off. A doll for a 6-year-old, well, not six is probably, but a doll for an 8-year-old girl, okay? Hiking boots for a 15-year-old boy, size, whatever. And people take that, they go out and purchase a new gift for that child. They bring it back wrapped up, they put it under the tree with the tag attached to it so they know who it goes to. Then we take those gifts, and the lady that does this is Mary. She's lovely. She does it all over the local community. Then she puts in different places, and then she collects all the gifts, and we take them all before Christmas. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I have to be there. The newspaper will be there. We go there tomorrow morning. We unload all those gifts at the local school, the middle school. And they put them there, and the school distributes them to the kids discreetly. They don't want to embarrass. I'm telling you that last year there had to have been 300, 400 gifts. It's insane what people do, the generosity. Yep. So that's what will be happening, less fortunate. Unfortunately, nothing like that existed when I was a kid. I had crappy Christmases, and there was nothing like that. Nothing. In fact, there was a Christmas or two where I was kind of hungry back in the day, but there was nothing like that. So the generosity of people is amazing. I just wish, and we'd see some of that generosity towards the Veterans Organization. We need some help. I mean, I had to pay $15,000 in bills this past night, 255,000 Rand. Now you're talking. Love those. Yeah, Ingrid's, that's another thing. Oh, what's Quid's talking about? Sorry. Yes, Dirk, they have contingency operations. So, but I think they were done anyway for this time. I think that's why they wanted to make the hit. Oh. He shows about Afrikaner groups siding with Russia and China, blaming America for Southern's problems. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Afrikaner groups siding with Russia and China, blaming America. Well, I mean, if you're an Afrikaner and you side with China, there's something wrong with you. If you're an Afrikaner and you side with Russia, what the hell are you talking about? What is going on there? And blaming us for your problems? They're self-inflicted. The National Party is the one that sat back for years and imposed apartheid laws and denied rights to black South Africans. It's not us that did that. It's the National Party that imposed increasingly oppressive laws, not us. It's the National Party that failed to take Luanda when it was within reach, not us. You can't blame Kissinger for that. You keep trying to, but you can't. That's not us. I didn't have anything to do with that. That's on you. Yes, Jean Joubert, DJ Warris. Yep, he's gone. He was executed in Joburg on the 16th of December. On Unity Day, murdered. Yep. Yeah, Afrikaners who support China and Russia receive Woolies black shopping bags from the ANC. Possibly. No, look, I mean, I use that term, and I use it quite freely. Farayas in your own community. There are plenty of them out there. Plenty of them out there. That's a beautiful project. Yes, Rethanel, it really is. Rethanel, it's a very beautiful project. We do it every year. And the lady who does it has an incredible heart of gold. And so we help her out. Yep. Yeah, you agree with me 100%. Yeah, so I don't know who that guy is. Let's not go watch the channel. I'm not trying to drive traffic to that channel. It's like, just ignore Bianca too. You know, it's she's going to preach her, spew her hatred to people. The problem is that the media in South Africa, they just lie. So that's one reason why I talk too briefly, and they still call me a YouTuber, whatever. I think you might be surprised which Afrikaner groups does that. I don't know, Krista. Maybe I will be. Music does every Saturday at the Boermarkt, and he started doing that project as well. Okay, well, I've been to the Boermarkt, Quids. I met a lot of people. When I went to the Boermarkt, oh my gosh, I forget how many people recognized me. That was incredible. That was pretty awesome. I really felt at home walking around the Boermarkt. Next time, I'll spend a lot more time there. I'll hang out and meet people. This last time was really cool. I must have met 25 people there that knew me at the boer market. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool project to be part of. I mean, you know, the Veterans Organization would be a pretty cool project to be part of too if it wasn't for such evil people who wanted to use the place for their own parochial self-interest. They want to get their friends in there. They want to get jobs to their friends. They don't care about the state of the place. They don't care about veterans. They claim they care about veterans, but none of them show up on Memorial Day when we have rifle squads to do salutes to those at cemeteries. None of them, most of these people don't show up to help us put flags out at cemeteries. It's you know, it's just, they say that they are, but it's just not true. Some are, but some aren't, you know, and it's always these people that believe anything. It's just like the crowd that's attacking me on YouTube, or not YouTube, on X, about my reporting on the story. And then their response is, you know, CNN's not a reliable outlet. Well, The Hill and also Daily Caller also report on it. So the Daily Caller spoke to the State Department and get confirmation. So they have a statement from the State Department and these media outlets, and that's not good enough for them. It is an amazing gesture, Ronell. It does make a child's Christmas a lot brighter. Love this long stream this morning. Well, okay, Otopi. Well, if we add the other stream in, I started this at 10 o'clock. That was 3.5 hours ago. So 3.5 hours plus 3.5 hour broadcast. Oh, that's 7 hours broadcast, plus the interview, which is over an hour. That's 8 hours of broadcasting, plus the 30-minute live I did before that. That's almost 9 hours of broadcasting today. Why do you think U.S. veteran benefits are not more comprehensive? It's a funny issue. Well, they are pretty comprehensive, Andre Noel. What do you mean not comprehensive? What do you mean? I don't. Please be specific. Veterans are entitled to no down payment, low interest loans for housing. I bought my house. I didn't have to put anything down. Nothing. Most people have to put down 20%. Can you imagine? Let's say you buy a $300,000 house. That means you have to have $60,000 in cash to buy a house. A veteran doesn't have to have anything. If you're an honorably discharged veteran, the VA will back your loan. You have to pay a fee for it. It's not free. And each time you buy a house, it becomes more. But last time I had to pay $7,500 to not put anything down. But it can be rolled into the loan, which is what happened in my case. But $60,000 is what you have to put down for a $300,000 house. That would be 1,020,000 Rand in order to buy a $300,000 house. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a veteran's benefit. Veterans get educational benefits. Under the new GI Bill, the programs change all the time. I came in after Vietnam, the post-Vietnam program called VEAP, Veterans Educational Assistance Program, VEAP. That program was a very limited program with a very small amount of money, but I used it to finish my undergraduate degree, and I used the rest left over to work on a master's degree. And so it worked for me. But today it's a very generous program. The Veterans Educational Assistance, or the new GI Bill, which has come out, the post 9/11 GI Bill, which has been around for over 2 decades now, is very generous. And I qualify for that as well. I could go do a PhD program. They will pay me housing allowance while I'm in school. Housing allowance at a sergeant's rate, because they keep it low, because they won't pay me a colonel's rate. But a sergeant's rate is like $1,800 a month tax-free while I'm in school. They'll also put tuition. Now, if I went to Dickinson College, which is located here in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, it's a private school, kind of an Ivy League school, the tuition there is $80,000 a year. They have a yellow ribbon program that they'll take the $20,000 or $30,000 that comes from the Veterans Administration. They will match that for veterans or waive it. So I don't have to pay any tuition to go to $80,000 a year school right here. And I don't have to move. I'll get paid $1,800 a month in housing allowance, which is tax exempt. I'd say that's pretty generous for veterans. Yeah, that's pretty generous. Also, if you're a disabled veteran, you get disability payment. It's not particularly generous, but it is tax exempt. And depending on what the nature of it is, you'll either get it as part of compensation if you're not a retiree. If you're a retiree, if you don't meet certain conditions, it'll come out of your retirement pay, but it's tax exempt. In my case, I get it on top of my retirement pay. That's generous. Also, if you have a service-related disability or injury, you get free care for that for the rest of your life. In my case, I get free care if I want. I haven't taken advantage of it yet for the rest of my life for all medical conditions, with the exception of dental and eye. I don't get that. So vision and dental, I don't get. But they give you all other care. So if I got cancer, I wouldn't have to pay for it. That's very, no local college is not free. Colleges are never free. Who told you that? There is community college in California, and some other states have a similar thing, where you don't pay or you pay very little to go to a community college. But that's like a 2-year school to prep you for a 4-year school. You've lived in China and Russia. I haven't lived there. Okay. It's already been addressed, but has he talked about the crime of apartheid bill? Yes, I've talked about that many, many times, Love Hate. I've talked about that many times over the past several days. The bill is being proposed by Al-Jamaa, who has no support in the parliament. They claim that 8 parties are behind it, and if those 8 parties voted in favor of the bill, it would pass, but it's not going to happen. It's unconstitutional. It's not going to go anywhere. Al Jamaa is just pimping for the cameras. If that bill were to pass, it's a violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it can be used in so many ways. Unless it gets to the floor of the Parliament, I would not get too excited about it. Yeah, it's not even a bill; it's a proposal. Exactly, it's from a party that has no support, a party that's based on racial hatred. Did I hear you wrong when you said that the refugee program can stop? I have problems sleeping. Who said that? Of course you heard me wrong. I never said that. What are you talking about that? What are you talking about? I never said that. I never said that. You definitely heard me wrong. I've said in the past, refugee program can stop at any time. The president can end it, yeah. But there's no indication of that. I mean, that's just all refugee programs. Look what he did to the rest of the world. He froze the program, and then he opened it up again. I would love to be part of the veterans to help in any way possible. I have a lot of respect for U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy. You guys go way above and beyond. Well, thank you very much, Ronell. We don't just do it for our country. We do it for the world. The U.S. Navy patrols the global sea lanes to ensure that piracy is kept to a minimum and that global shipping takes place. We defended oil tankers in the Persian Gulf in the 1980s when Iran was blowing up and sinking oil tankers in the Gulf. We reflagged every one of those tankers with the U.S. flag and then defended them with our naval assets. We protect the Mediterranean. We protect the South China Sea. We protect the East China Sea. Our Navy does amazing things. Our military defends the Korean Peninsula, Japan, Okinawa, Philippines, also Middle East and parts of Africa. Yeah, we do a lot for the world. And we kept Europe from falling under communist sway for decades. I mentioned it was postponed, but apologies if I didn't. Thanks for letting me know. I'll have to go look at the old podcast. No, I can just answer your question right now. I just did. You don't have to go look at the old podcast. Yep. But you're welcome to look at the old ones. But looking through old podcasts that go for 2.5 hours, you're not going to know where to find it. So it's a tough one to do. It's beneficial to speak Spanish, U.S. Yeah, people speak Spanish, but I refuse to. I speak 6 languages. I will not learn Spanish. I will not be forced by a corrupt government to bifurcate my country based on language. I encourage people to become polyglots, learn multiple languages, but I recommend learning something useful like French or German or, frankly, Mandarin. But Spanish, no. I will not speak it. I know I understand enough of it just through osmosis and speaking a Latin language. I speak French. Yeah, but I will not. It's a political bullshit, and I will not speak it. I will not allow my country to be colonized by Spanish. Nope. But your daughter can learn it. It will be useful. No, Spanish is spoken by plenty of Americans, Philip. You got to remember that Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California were all part of Spanish holdings, and they were settled by the Spanish. And then the Mexicans held them for a while until Texas broke away, had its own republic in 1835. In 1845 became a state. And then we had, in addition to that, California, and then New Mexico and Arizona. And there are old Spanish families that live in these places. They're not Mexican as such. They're Spanish families because they were Spanish. They settled in all over those places. So those people, many of them after centuries still inculcate their youth in Spanish and their culture, and they still speak it. Mayoka, nee. Ik praat niet Afrikaans nie. Nope, I don't speak Afrikaans. I know Afrikaans. I can read it. I can understand it, but I don't try to pretend I can speak it. Nope. Sorry, it's fine. You don't have to apologize. No reason to apologize. If you're not calling me a racist or abusing me, there's no reason to apologize. People hear things incorrectly, or maybe I actually misstated. I'm working on about no sleep, and I've eaten once in the past 48 hours. I've eaten once. Yeah, I won't go anywhere. Don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly. They come with stupid stuff all the time. It's just getting attention because of the current situation. Laurent royal family. I do not know them, Helen. I do not know them. Yeah, I know English, German, French, Afrikaans, Setswana, and Swahili. I used to be pretty fluent in Swahili, fluent in German, fluent in French, fluent in English. Not fluent in Setswana, but understood it to a degree. 11-year-old daughter is excited to move to the U.S. so she wants to learn the language that Puss in Boots speaks. Does Puss in Boots speak Spanish? Didn't know that. I guess I don't pay attention to that. My Joker asked about my military career. I didn't see that. Okay, let me see where that's at. You asked about Afrikaans. I saw that. What about my military career? What do you want to know? Do you ever talk about it? Oh, my Joker. I didn't see it. Did my Joker ask about my military career and do I ever talk about it? I don't talk about a lot. I talk about some war stories as such. They're not war stories. Some of them are war stories, but no, it's people ask about it, and I talk about it. I get a lot from people asking me about my awards, and then the moment I pull them out after refusing to do it for months on end or years on end, I pull them out. I get accused of being so full of myself. But look behind me. Do you see Legion of Merit, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Army Combination Medal, Defense Combination Medal? Do you see anything back there? Do you see? I have 23 different ribbons that I wear, personal decorations, and some of them have been awarded multiple times, like an Army Combination Medal, 9 citations for 1 medal. So take those 23 and multiply it by an average of 4, how many decorations I've got during my career. Doesn't make me special, doesn't make me a hero, doesn't mean anything. It just means those are decorations that I earned or were awarded during my time. In addition, I have 2 presidential citations for serving, 3 presidential citations for serving in units. Actually, 4. I'm sorry, 4 presidential. I got a Valorous Unit Award for combat against the Republican Guard during the Gulf War in the 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry, part of a unit that was awarded that for our conduct against the Republican Guard and our actions against them. And then I received a presidential citation for my time in service in contributing to the mission of the Defense Intelligence Agency for the War on Terrorism, at the Africa Command for the War on Terrorism, and at the National Security Agency of the War on Terrorism. So 4 of those unit awards, and I wear those for the rest of my life. So I served 36 and a half years, 2 years in the National Guard between my service as a private and a sergeant. And then after I was a private and sergeant. By the way, if I read my True Talk well, my Pure Talk, hang on. So I have transferred my service from T-Mobile on this phone to Pure Talk, which guaranteed me a lifetime rate. And they also, if I read it correctly, I get free phone calls to 100 countries. And guess where I can make free phone calls to? South Africa. So I don't have to use WhatsApp. I can call for free, if that's correct. I'm going to confirm that. If that's the case, that's fantastic. I'm going to have a blast with this phone. I've had this number for 6 years, and I barely use it, but now I'm going to start using it. It was with Sprint, and then it got transferred to T-Mobile when they bought them out, but now I'm going to start using that phone. Yep. So, the only thing worse being shouted in Germany is being shouted in Afrikaans, possibly, especially by Cape Colors. Yeah, the dialect is strong. So, I served 3 tours in Germany. This is all on my LinkedIn page. There's nothing here. I'm not self-promoting. 3 tours in Germany as a sergeant, as a private, a sergeant, then as a lieutenant and a captain, and then back again as a lieutenant colonel, served in Germany. And then I served in Italy for a tour where I was the lead counterintelligence agent for Southern Europe for the U.S. Army and a commander of an intelligence detachment there, and deployed to the Balkans, among other things. Then I went back to university. I went back to university before I was in Italy. Went to university, spent 2 years in the National Guard in Ohio as an air defender, then came back in and spent 30 years as an officer. Started as a private E1, finished as a full colonel. Yep. I was the chief of staff of the Cryptologic Mission Management Program at the National Security Agency, a $3 billion program. That would be 54 billion rand that I ran with a global workforce of about 7,800, 85,000. I forget the exact number, or 8,500, excuse me, not 85,000. All over the world, multiracial, multinational team that worked for me, and we led that program. I additionally went, and I was chief of staff of that program. I didn't start that way. I started in a low-level position, and I proved my worth, and they bumped me up to be chief of staff. As a major, I did a full colonel's job. That's 2 pay grades above my rank for a multi-billion-dollar project. It's pretty cool and impressive. I left there, worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency, where I wrote 1,200 intelligence products over the course of 34 months while I was there. And of those 1,200, I wrote, I think, 7 or 9 presidential data briefs. I forget now. But my daily presidential data briefs, one of them saved 640,000 black Africans from starving to death in southern Africa. Yeah. Then later I went to Liberia, where I was put in charge of the rebuilding of the armed forces of Liberia. And so I did in Liberia what they were doing in Iraq, except they had 15,000 people, and I had a few dozen people working for me. I mean, a few dozen people working for me at the embassy, but I had about 750 working for me total at Liberians and contractors. And we rebuilt the armed forces of Liberia in a little over a year, a program that had stagnated for several years. I left there, I went to Botswana, where the HIV program was in disarray and it was failing. I re-energized the HIV program with the Botswana Defense Force. I did a number of things with the Botswana Defense Force that had never been done before. I was a guest lecturer at the command staff school there, college, and really did an awful lot in Botswana. And then later served in Niger, where I established the Office of Security Cooperation. I also served in Mauritania, where I established the Office of Security Cooperation. I was Security Cooperation Chief in Uganda, and trained the Somali National Force. I was the paymaster, assigned their paychecks in Uganda for the Somalis. Also was there for the non-combat evacuation from South Sudan and involved in the hunt for Joseph Kony and a bunch of other things. I left there. I went to Ethiopia, where I was liaison to the U.S. Africa Command, liaison to the African Union, and I was also the senior military advisor to the U.S. mission to the African Union. Worked with the international community there, 66 different attaches in the country from different countries. Worked with NATO there, worked with the African Union, Peacekeeping Operations Support Division. I worked with Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa out of Djibouti. I went to Nigeria to negotiate the multinational task force that was going to go after Boko Haram. And then I went to Cameroon to do the terms and conditions for that task force. Yeah, it was interesting stuff. I came back. I was director of African Studies at the Army War College and a thesis advisor in 4 years, probably about 1 year I did 7 or 8. Only supposed to do 2 at max. Thesis advisor, which takes a lot of your time, especially when they don't speak English and they're Francophone Africans. I think I did on average 5 per year, so I did at least 20 of those theses in just 4 years of academic work. Yeah, I'm a published author in academic circles. A couple of my books are on the shelf back there on that side, excuse me. No, it's on this side. It's on this side. They're over here. Published by Stellenbosch University, also published by the Army War College. I've been published in professional journals for defense and national security. I'm a radio host on WSMN out of Nashua, New Hampshire every week. I've been a source for newspapers. And these people have the audacity to write stupid stuff about me. They never question my bona fides. They never question my analysis. They just attack me personally because they're stupid people. No need, no thanks. Okay. Millspread's much better than Florida. Okay, Ronell, take care. Sound is soft. Adjusts my PC. I think it's your PC. Other people have no problem. Some of you are having problems. So could be YouTube trying to suppress my channel. A bit outdated. Yeah, no, it's a bit outdated, Utopia. I have nothing to put on there. I haven't written an article in a while because I've been so busy with all this stuff. But I will write some stuff. I had a note here about an article I was going to write, but I got distracted and forgot what it was. Well, my Joker, I did not just for my country, but for the world. I mean, I've helped make the world a better place, and I can live and sleep with that very well. Oh, my Joker, that was the abbreviated version, my friend. My CV runs 17 pages. Let me just do a brief period when I stopped updating, okay? Just to show. Oh, crap, that's not here. Damn it. I wonder if I've got that here. Oh, man. No, it's on the drive on. Oh, here it is. I did move it over here. Good. Oh, that's good. I moved it over here just in case I need it. So, biography. Okay, here we go. Let me look at this. All right. So, Colonel Wyatt is the principal CEO of the Indaba Africa Group, retired U.S. Army Military Intelligence Officer, Foreign Area Officer, Sub-Saharan African, past Director of African Studies, U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Previously the Senior Military Advisor, U.S. Mission to the African Union. Extensive experience across Europe with 3 tours in Germany, a tour in Italy, the Balkans, the Levant, Southwest Asia, and further service in Africa with assignments in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Niger, Mauritania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. His tours in Africa include duty as a Senior Defense Representative, Security Assistance Officer, and attaché assignments. Colonel Wyatt is a published author, has extensive experience in defense and security, strategic, tactical, and operational intelligence, as well as signals and counterintelligence, security sector reform, peacekeeping, international development, the health sector, HIV, AIDS, and Ebola, defense acquisition, diplomacy, program management, speaks 6 languages to varying degrees of proficiency. Well, that's the biography. That's not the CV. I'm looking for the CV. Where the hell's the CV at? Here we go. CV. Okay. Yeah, so Master of Strategic Studies, Master of Science, International Relations, Command General Staff College graduate, Defense Language Institute with honors in French, Iowa State University, International Development Studies, BA in History from Ohio University, and an Associate degree from University of Maryland. Meritorious Honor Award, U.S. Department of State, Presidential Daily Brief, author recognition 4 times. November 2005, March 2006, October 2007, February 2007. Director's Annual Agency Team Award, Defense Intelligence Agency 2006. State of Hesse, President's Community Contribution Award 1994. So this isn't even the current one because I added the one from Liberia, didn't I? I thought I did this. Let me see if it's here. No, it's not here. I still don't have that there. I got an award from Liberia. Anyway, so hang on a second here. Back to that. But let me just show you, I skipped all this stuff. I'll jump down here to just the public stuff I was doing my last couple of years in the War College. So So foreign tours, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Israel, Italy, Bosnia, Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Germany, Niger, Mauritania, Uganda, Ethiopia. Those are the places I lived. And I've worked in Austria, Belgium, Botswana, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Cameroon, Canada, Croatia, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Germany, Ghana, Guinea, Iraq, Italy, Ivory Coast, Kuwait, Lesotho, Liberia, Mauritania, Morocco, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Swaziland, Tanzania, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, United Kingdom, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. That's the places I've worked. All right. So just a handful of things. I'll go backwards in time. So U.S. Navy War College Regional Alumni Symposium, panel member, Capacity Building in Africa, 2015. African Lion 2016 Senior Leaders Seminar in Agadir, Morocco, 2016. 101st Airborne Division Sustainment Brigade Regional Allied Force Familiarization Training, Fort Campbell, October 2016. Same thing, different brigade. December of 2016. Joint Special Operations University Adjunct Professor, Interministerial Executive Collaboration Course, Monrovia, Liberia, 2017. U.S. Army Africa Alumni Symposium, panel member and facilitator, Next Generation African Leaders, Violent Extremists in Africa, Building Partner Capacity, March 2017. South Africa's Fragile Democracy, guest speaker at the Army Heritage and Education Center, February 2018. G5 Sahel Defense College visiting professor, U.S. Foreign Policy in Africa, U.S. Military Policy in Africa, U.S. Africa Command 2018. China and Africa guest speaker for the 11th Annual Energy Conference in Denver, Colorado, November 2018. U.S. Military Engagement in Africa and U.S. Policy in Africa, visiting professor, Armed Forces College, Armed Forces Mauritania Staff College 2018. The new AFL Reflections and Expectations, guest speaker, Library and Studies Association 2019. China and Africa, again, Canada Africa Network, Vancouver, Canada, 2019. Repatriating ISIS fighters and family members, guest speaker, London, 2019. Current state of U.S. Africa trade, guest speaker at the Trade with Africa Summit, Chicago, Illinois, 2019. Big leap over fossil fuels, renewables, and the developing world. Panel member, Aspen, Colorado, August 2019. That's just when I retired. Those are the things I did just in the last couple of years. So, yeah, there you go. So, these people talking nonsense about me. They don't know what they're talking about. Oh, I continue my streams during the holidays. Okay, Collie Creel just posted. Let's see what he's got to say. Okay. Just confirmed U.S. officials, South African authorities did indeed raid U.S. facility in Johannesburg, briefly detaining U.S. staff who have been processing African refugees. Well, yeah, I knew about this. Wow. Oh, he's not letting me he can't comment on it. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, my Joker. Yeah, but we got Bianca van Wyk. What has she done? What has she accomplished? I got Shelley Hepburn. What have they done? I'm not attacking them. They've attacked me. I'm not attacking them. Just saying, what have they done? What have they done? You really are Eista. Well, thank you for that, my Joker. I appreciate it. Bye, donkey. This is Abanet van Ihnen. Yeah. No, I mean, it's, look, it's, and I get the same abuse here from people who just want to take over the Veterans Organization. They think they know everything. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, I had someone say, I don't know what I'm doing. Really? I've run multi-billion-dollar programs. I've run businesses with 2 people. I've run businesses with 10,000 people. Yeah. And someone told me I would never follow a leader like you in combat. Really? That's not been my experience. People have lined up to follow me. People have tried to move from one job to another to work for me. It's, but you get people who are assholes. They're just assholes. The world's full of assholes. They don't like something you say. They don't like it because they have penis envy or they don't like the way you handle things, and they just act like children. It's the nature of things, I mean, the abusive behavior that I took from veterans, from a person that was just a junior NCO, and I'm a retired colonel, and I tolerated that to give him his time to speak, and then he called me a liar. It's just, it's beyond the pale. It's absolutely beyond the pale. No, I haven't stopped what I'm doing. Well, thank you, Barbie. I mean, and we're just getting started. The best is yet to come, as Trump says. The best is yet to come. Yeah, no, we're just trying to keep straight. That's why I was able to break that story this morning, because people reached out to me because they trust me, because they know I'm going to treat the story properly. I'm not going to run off with it. And they also wanted the word to get out. So, yeah. Is there anything we could write in for you to get you in charge of the program? No, Nicola, you should just, when you get interviewed, tell them, why aren't you guys hiring Colonel Wyatt? Man, that guy's on top of things. Well, we'll create a Wyatt Army thing at some point if it gets big enough. This channel's not large enough for that sort of thing yet. We got to get to 250,000 members. We get 250,000 members, I'll make something special. We'll make like a Wyatt Army, a real Wyatt Army, and you can you'll get a T-shirt or a cap, when you sign up, and I'll do special things just for the Wyatt Army. But I mean, yeah, the pole dance and corner vending, exactly, Quids. That's what they've done. Thanks for everything, and that you can always rely on you. I'm saying good night. I've not slept yet. Okay, Loretta, that's fine. You need to get some rest. Yeah, my joke is holy crap. Oh, and again, that's just, that's the bottom of the 17-page CV. That's the short version, actually, 7-page CV. Yep. Jackson Million. How do you produce 4 years experience, 2-page CV? It's not easy. Just asking because I like referring people back to your Substack for some history. I understand you were busy. No, okay, Utopia, it's fine. I appreciate you asking. Yeah, Dirk could see. I know. U.S. recruiters want, and I have a 2-page version. It's silly though. How do you put that in 2 pages? How do you put it in 2 pages? Anyway, what's place or experience you miss or have the fondest memories of? I have to be honest about this. What else would I be? As South Africans say, if I'm honest, what else would you be? So it's all time dependent. I absolutely loved being in the Army in 1984 in Germany during the Cold War. When I would go to the Canopy and to El Barco and to nightclubs where I'd come back and I met Germans, I learned to speak German. It was a fascinating time for me. Nena, hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99. Luftballons. I'll never be Maria Magdalena. You're a creature of the night. Yeah. Yep. And of course, Modern Talking and of course, Alphaville. You're big in Japan tonight. Big in Japan, all right. Yeah, that was a fantastic time. And of course, Opus. La, 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 la. Life. Live is life. That was a magical time. The music was great. It was the 80s. It was the best time ever. I love that. I miss that. I wished that I was that young 19, 20-year-old kid and I could go back. None of this gray hair, none of these occasional wrinkles, the hip not being a problem, and have the energy and drive I had then. I still have the energy and I had the drive, but that at that time, and know what I know now. I would conquer the world at that age if I knew what I know now. Thank you for subscribing, Leonard Gray. And so the next one that was a truly inspiring time is I loved when I went back to university in 1987-89 and went back for my second stint at Ohio University. It was absolutely a magical time. The Cold War was coming to an end. I was becoming trained to become an officer. My coursework was amazing. I just had an amazing time at university. After that, the next time that I truly, truly enjoyed things, I did enjoy going to war, that was for sure. I don't have horrible memories, but it just wasn't, it's not something you want to look forward to. What's the next one? I really liked being, I really liked being the Brigade S2 in Hanau, Germany, at a consequential time. Rwanda, Yugoslavia falling apart, Kosovo, Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia, all that stuff. I really enjoyed that. I was given a lot of responsibility as a young officer, and it really cut my teeth. I also really enjoyed some of my time in Italy. Yeah. And the next one I truly enjoyed after that, let's see. So I left there. I liked teaching at Iowa State, but it wasn't the best thing, but I enjoyed it. That was before Italy. And then what comes after that? I absolutely loved the job I had in the library. It was unbelievably challenging. I had to work 16, 18-hour days, 7 days a week frequently. I was answering email at 10, 11, 12 o'clock, midnight on Friday nights, getting my email. And I organized a program and arguably saved a program. A lot of people don't want to give me recognition for that, but it's true. It's not an embellishment. I have 8 gigabytes of the data of the stuff that went on there. Photographs, documents, all this stuff. So yeah, I kept a lot of that stuff. So that was an incredible experience in charge of that program. I enjoyed my time in Botswana immensely. The work I did there was incredible. And then after that, the only one that really fired me up after that was I really enjoyed teaching at the War College. The stuff I did at African Command, I didn't like working in a cramped, crappy old Nazi building that had no space, and I didn't like working for the asswipe that I had to work for, the colonel. She was a dipshit who had no skills. It was promoted well beyond her capability. So there have been moments. It all comes down to moments. I don't know. Maybe that's why Dirk, while he blocked the people from commenting on it. I can't comment on Yep. But you have to understand, I'm not picking Kali, but he's also there as an advocate for Afrikaners, and so he's going to focus on that. Yep. Well, the communist dumb knob dirtbags will be declaring you persona non grata, so don't be surprised if you don't get a visit or get canceled. Well, thank you, Alan, for that stupid comment, which is not helpful. No, I didn't prank people. That's juvenile. No, I've never been hunting in South Africa. I've been beekeeping in South Africa. I've never been hunting. I've never gone on safari in South Africa either, except for Madikwe. I wouldn't call that a safari. That's kind of like going to a petting zoo. But I did go out and we followed lions around and stalking a Gemsbok. Yeah, I watched the pride of lions take down a Gemsbok. That was pretty wild. Got within about 3 meters of where they were devouring it. The whole thing disappeared in like 15 minutes, all these lions. But, you know, Madikwe is like going to a petting zoo. So I've never done a safari in South Africa. I've done safaris in Botswana. I've done safaris in Tanzania. Yep. Illegal Kenyans, they claim. That's what I said they were going to try to say. They're going to say they're illegal Kenyans. Yep. Yep. Let me see. News 24. I knew that's the angle they were going to take. I didn't want to report on it. Well, let me just cover this story, okay? Peter Dutoy is covering it. So, yeah, of course, Peter Dutoy already has information from the government, which has refused to respond. This is what I said. Let's go back in time, okay? Let's go back in time, all right? Let's go back in time. When people told me Kenyans were there, what did I say? I said the South African government has denied them a work visa. If they're there, they can only be there on a tourist visa. The only way they can be doing anything is if they're volunteers. That's what I said. Remember that? Volunteers. So this is what it's come back to, okay? Let's see what this says. South African authorities issued deportation orders for illegal Kenyan volunteers at U.S. refugee center. Why is refugee in quotes? See, you're a scumbag, Peter Dutoy. Including police and the Department of Home Affairs served 7 Kenyan nationals doing illegal work paid in Johannesburg with deportation orders. Kenyans were working for an intermediary organization processing so-called Afrikaner refugees who were in the country on a 9-day tourist visa when they were apprehended by authorities. Their initial visa applications due to volunteer work in South Africa were denied by the Home Affairs, which later informed the group was indeed engaged in paid for work. According to News 24's information, American officials were kept informed of the unfolding standard immigration operation by the police and Home Affairs Department. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie, because had the American officials known this was going to happen, they would have had those people surrendered. They would not have had any refugees come to that station. That's a lie. Yep. Kenyan passports were checked and it was found they did not have the correct entry visas. They're expected to return to Kenya voluntarily on Monday. No American official was arrested by South African authorities, and there was no interference with the refugee program conducted by the U.S. as senior government official. That's a lie as well. That is a lie as well. They did interfere, and they did try to get documents from the people on presence. That is a lie. That is a lie. Premises where the refugee process screening are conducted are also not diplomatic premises or locations. That really isn't germane. Diplomats have Vienna Convention protections. Peter Dutoy is telling lies. Now, if he believes lies, then he believes lying officials in the government. That's not true. Yep, that's not true. You should hire a scriptwriter and make a movie of those parts of your life. We'll take you to next time you come back. When do you think USA State Department will give a statement? Probably later in the day. Yep. Okay, I'm going to have to do a video on that one, folks. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. My goodness. I had no idea we're going this long. All right, so let's wrap this one up, folks, okay? And now that story's come out, and I'm going to refute that, okay? I have to refute that story and tell about what's going on here. When do you think USA State Department will... Okay, I already answered that question. All right. Hey, Joy, what's going on? All right. No, it's all right. The story just broke out. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna hit the like button. I got to get up. I got 6 hours, and it's going to 7 hours before I have to do the Christmas toys. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Okay. So thank you so much. Be sure to hit the like button. How are we doing on likes? We got 491 likes. That's not bad. Not bad. Okay, guys. Take care. Thanks for being here. Cheers.